Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the McDonCast, the spookiest podcast in town,
the spookiest podcast around.
That's right, everybody. This is the spookiest podcast we've ever recorded.
That's why you're dressed as a hot dog, and I'm dressed as a vague cultist guy.
That's right, everybody. We are recording this.
Definitely didn't forget to put this on.
Nope, he did not.
I also. Oh, now Patrick's calling.
Oh my gosh, Patrick's on the
Hold
phone.
up. What is that ringtone? Discord changed their ringtone for
It's for Halloween.
Alrighty.
What are you doing,
Hello,
Discord?
Patrick. We just started. We are live on the air. Let me switch the sound so it can actually record you real quick.
All right.
There we go. You're in, Patrick. You're on the air.
Wow, very cool.
How does it feel? How happy Halloween, Patrick? What you doing for Halloween, which is today?
Probably nothing.
Wow, that's
Probably
not very
nothing.
festive.
Well, what are you doing right now? What is happening on Halloween night?
On this Halloween night, homework.
Yeah, today's Halloween. You're doing
I'm
homework. I thought you
doing-
said you were going to sleep.
I am right after I finish this homework.
We caught him in the act, everybody. We caught him lying, trying to get out of a podcast.
I've got to do this assignment that will probably take like 5 minutes.
He's got to do his 5-minute assignment. All right. Well, while Patrick does his 5-minute assignment,
Patrick-
Tucker, why don't you introduce us to what's going on?
Okay, well, everybody, it's pouring rain outside. We're recording this
It's not raining.
it's raining here.
Well, here it's raining.
We're recording
Wow.
this much later than we normally do. I got the Halloween decorations out.
I like how Patrick seemed actually confused.
Yes.
What? It's not raining.
I'm just
I think the
saying
fact
that
that
y'all lying.
I think the
It's
fact that
not
he's in
raining.
another state has still not set into him after like 2 years. But
It's literally not raining outside, and you guys are all high.
maybe something's in this candy. But yeah, we got the candy.
Start the movie.
We got.
We're going to be putting on Night of the Living Dead in the background,
That's
which is in
right.
the public domain, so they can't sue us.
That's
Super
right.
Cool.
We got our costumes. We're gonna have a spooky Halloween time. I have a Halloween film or fake game for Sam.
Ooh, I'm the only person playing.
That's right. I have some trivia questions for him, and we're gonna do a Halloween movie tier list. So we're gonna do that,
Sounds awesome.
and then of course we're gonna talk about the most festive and fun event of the year, Killers of the Flower Moon, a 3.5-hour
Great Halloween movie.
drama about murder and evil
Good.
And
systemic oppression.
that's true also. All those things.
So
Did we talk about the responses to it as well?
I think we
There
might
were
as
some
well.
interesting
Some truly galaxy-brained takes from certain people.
Yeah.
Well, let's start out. Let's ditch the Halloween bit thing
Well,
for a bit.
I can't really do that.
Just
I'd
drop
have
the
to
hood.
Literally take my whole shirt off.
But
I like
let's
the hood. I'm gonna keep the hood on.
before we
Hood
get-
stays on. during-
okay. Wow. Before we get to our
until it
Halloween
gets too
games,
hot or annoying.
I think we should talk about the movie event of the past week.
Are we starting off with Killers of the Flower Moon?
We might as well. I think that's the most relevant thing, and then we can just put a time code to skip to the Halloween stuff.
Makes sense.
But let's start off. Killers of the Flower Moon, the newest film from Martin Scorsese, screenplay by him and Eric Roth, based on the book Killers of the Flower Moon, The Osage Murders and the Birth of the FBI that came out a few years ago.
I read that book.
Did you actually read the book?
I had to read it for school.
Oh, hey, have you seen the movie also?
No.
Oh.
Wow. We almost could
See,
have.
okay, if we had someone who had done both, we could have had some more.
We would have been
insightful
the
commentary
only
here.
YouTube review channel who
I
actually
know-
read the book.
I know the whole story because I read the book.
Well, the movie's not about the FBI. The movie's about the guy who did all the murdering.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was like a true crime book. Are we talking about the book by Patton Oswalt's dead wife?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you lost me there. I got no idea what you're talking about.
No. I'm gonna look it up.
Those are the
It's
Flower
called
Moon.
Killers of the Flower Moon. If you either read it or you didn't.
It's by David Gran.
Is it?
Yes.
What was the book by Patton Oswalt's dead wife?
Patrick, I don't know what you're talking about.
Hang on. I know what you're talking about the serial killer.
I'm gonna figure this out.
All right, well, he's doing that.
Oh,
Is it I'll Be Gone in the Dark?
I might be. Yeah.
And one of my nuggets was
No, that's about the Golden State
What are
Killer.
you
No,
talking?
I've also read that book though, the one about the Osage,
so you read this one and a different book, and you just got
You
them
got them
confused.
confused.
because they're like both true crime about murder.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Sure.
Anyways,
I've read both of the books.
all right. Well, let's talk about.
Martin Scorsese's newest film. Sam, we did not see this together.
No,
for
we
once,
saw this separately.
So I don't know how you feel about this. So what were your thoughts on Killers of the Flower? By the way, Killers of the Flower Moon. By the way, all spoilers. Since this is a real thing that happened like 80 years ago, I don't consider really any, like, you could Google all of this
Since
information.
it is real.
You could have. Yeah, I don't consider anything a spoiler.
Also, nothing really happens that is a spoiler necessarily. Like, you know who the bad
like
guy
characters
is.
die, but like they died in real life, so I don't.
And they're introduced in a context that makes it clear that they are going to get murdered.
Yeah. So how did you feel about this?
I overall was positive about it. It was definitely shot to be seen on an iPhone. Like, every character is very big on the screen. Not in the like Shyamalan sense that the camera's like in their nose, but like every character takes up the majority of the like percentage of the screen. And there's very little depth of field in terms of the camera work. Like, everything is in focus, which is common for shows that are shot for streaming, movies that are shot for streaming. Which makes sense. Made by or made for
Apple
TV Plus. I'm not sure when it comes. Is it out on there already, or is it coming?
They haven't given it a date. I think their time frame is like Christmas is when it's going to drop on
Okay,
there.
well, it'll be on there eventually. I think that. I mean, I don't really have any problems with the actual story or like the acting or the direct. Like, everything's great. There's just a lot of weight. There's a lot of scenes that just go on for way longer than they need to, or like the camera will focus on something that is just not at all relevant to the story for like way too long. Overall, I just think the movie was a little bit too long to like really get super invested in it. Like, I get invested in it, and then it like they don't do anything for like 20 minutes, and I'm like, all right, okay. And then they start doing stuff again. I'm like, okay, we're back into it. I don't know. It took a long time to get from point A to point B.
In terms of, so I really, really liked this. It was a movie that I saw initially, liked it really well, and then I kind of thought about it, about kind of its themes and what it was all about, and I liked it even more after that. I think, like, technically, extraordinarily well crafted, extraordinarily well shot. They made
Everything's real.
They made Oklahoma look like an interesting place to be, which is not the case in real life.
They also did a great
You
job
don't
of.
think Oklahoma's interesting?
Patrick, most Oklahomans don't think Oklahoma's interesting.
It's a big empty field.
But no, like, everything from a technical perspective, everything's perfect.
And even like the acting, every performance in this is great. Even from like, I think he's smartly as a kind of a thematic element to the story itself. All of the kind of recognizable that guy actors that show up in this, he saves for towards the end.
Yeah.
The first 2 to 2.5 hours is obviously it's Leo and Robert De Niro, but it's a lot of just like one-off character actors, new faces. And so I think that really, really helps. And all the performances are great. So I think that really, really helps build the world of the movie. And it makes all of these characters who were real people seem more like real people and alive in the story. And I thought that was a really, really, really great decision. I think the standout performance from this, and what everyone is clamoring about, rightly so, is Lily Gladstone as Molly Kyle.
Who I heard was actually considering like giving up acting until she was cast in this movie.
Yeah. She's really, really good in this. I've seen some criticism over the movie not focusing on her, but I think there is a specific reason for it not to focus on her.
Thematically, it works better if Leonardo DiCaprio is the main character.
And I think we'll get into that. But like, just I think your main criticism is the length, and I understand that it's extraordinarily long. It's very, very, very long.
Not necessarily the length, but the pacing. Because it's so long, they the pacing I feel is damaged a little bit.
I can understand that. It's a movie. It's a crime thriller, I guess is what some people would describe it as, or it's a movie about crime, and there's purposely almost no tension for the whole thing.
Yeah, so it's like it's a thriller in name only. It's honestly more of like a historical drama than
it
like
is more of a
thriller.
historical drama. The trailers for this movie have put in every small bit of action there is in this.
Okay, every scene in the trailer happens in like the last like 30 to 45 minutes of the movie, which sounds like a long time, but remember, this movie is almost 4 hours long.
Yeah, but I think the reason he did make this, one, so long, and two, have very little like building tension was that this story and this case and what these people were doing to the Osage Native Americans
Is insane.
They were doing for over 20 years. Like, this was a seditious, evil system they had put in place there. And very few of them were truly aware of it. And it lasted so long, and it went so deep. Like, there's never that, oh, it's building, because it was there before before Leonardo DiCaprio gets there.
Yeah, it was going on before he got there.
And it keeps going. Like, the movie takes place over several years. You kind of don't feel it. That none of the characters are like actively aging.
I feel like they should have maybe done some makeup or something to kind of like play with the ages a little more. Because Leonardo DiCaprio, when he gets there, I assume he was supposed to be like a early 20s.
I believe in real life,
he's supposed to be like coming home from war.
I'm gonna make sure I get all the names right.
He's coming home from the war, so like I assumed he was like late 20s.
But I believe that guy, was like 25 or something.
But
when he, actually
he looks like
arrived
Leonardo DiCaprio, who's like 50, and they didn't do anything to make him look younger. So I was like, how old is this guy supposed to be?
And King Hale, who Robert De Niro was playing, I believe was like actually in his like 40s or 50s when Ernest showed up. So yeah, Ernest Burkhardt is the name of Leonardo DiCaprio's character. But in terms of what the movie focuses on, right, which is the killers. One, I think that is very intentional in that this is a story about people with power and agency taking advantage of those without power and agency. The reason the story doesn't focus on Molly is because she can't do anything to stop this. She didn't do anything to stop this because she had no ability to do so. She does everything she can in this movie. And under her character is that underlying just righteous anger towards all of this, even though like she can't actively do anything to stop it.
Well,
like,
she knew that like her family was getting murdered, but
she
doesn't know that it's Ernest who is like the driving force behind most of those murders.
The reason it doesn't focus on the Osage is because the Osage were not the killers of the Flower Moon. Yeah. It's called Killers of the Flower Moon for a reason, because it's about the killers. It's about, and this coming after The Exorcist Believer was really, really interesting to me, because and I know that sounds like a weird comparison, but The Exorcist Believer is about evil in a sense of like this cartoonish, supernatural, over-the-top force that comes out of nowhere and flips everyone off and destroys everyone's lives.
This is about a much more nuanced and realistic exploration. This movie is about what evil.
Actual evil is, which is a bunch of people doing things out of ignorance and hate. And that is the only reason evil happens.
Greed is I would argue,
ignorance, hate, and greed.
Their main motive here.
Because they're on like very valuable land, right? That's the whole.
Yeah. They got oil money.
Like, it's people who want something and don't care for the people who have it, and will just eliminate them and take everything they have and feel nothing. They will feel nothing. They will not feel bad about it at all.
And that is, in my opinion, why I think it is interesting to tell this story from the perspective of Ernest and have Leonardo DiCaprio specifically.
It's really interesting. Like, it's really interesting that this is like they made this into a movie, because reading the book, you don't exactly see how this would make for a great movie. So, was like the adaptation of the movie good?
Well, that's what we're talking about.
Well, I haven't read the book. You should probably go watch the movie for yourself.
Yeah, you probably have a more interesting perspective.
Well, it's probably really different, and they probably had to leave a lot out because the book is.
I don't know. The movie's 4 hours long.
Almost, yeah. It's 3 hours and 20 minutes.
Never mind. They probably included most.
Yeah, but no.
But let me to finish what I was saying. because it's Leonardo DiCaprio, he is a very charismatic guy.
Yeah.
And in this movie, Ernest is also a very charismatic character. He gets everyone on his side. Like, no one really suspects that he's doing all this stuff, except the people who know that he's doing all this stuff.
Well, and he befriends them and kind of acts like he's one of them.
Yeah, and then that gets into the whole thing where, like, does he really love her? And that did cause some controversy outside of the movie, where, like, people were upset about the interpretation that the movie takes, that he was genuinely in love with her, but still doing all this evil stuff in spite of that, out of greed.
Do you think he actually loved her?
It is the consensus of the family that has, since, you know, his progeny, that he did love her.
I think he
So,
did.
I think he. Well,
I'm
reading
gonna
the
take
book,
the-
I think he did.
I'm gonna take the
I think
family's
he did,
word
but
over
I
everyone
think he
else's,
was
because I
like-
don't know the guy. I assume they
I think he was.
know better than I do.
I think the issue is, like, he was already so entrenched in this thing with, like, the government and such, that it was just really, really difficult.
Yeah, it was like a sunk cost. He was like, I'm already in this deep. I'll just keep
I
going.
think it was because his character is such like a slimy grub and just a complete pushover.
Yeah, he
and
does
is
whatever
so
he is
easily
told.
manipulated by everyone else around him, or even not manipulated. They just tell him what to do, and just like a worm.
Or they just straight up be like, yes, no, we are taking advantage of you right now. And he's like, okay.
He almost has. It's interesting because he almost has like zero, like ability to stick with something himself. Like he has zero solid foundation. He's just like flows in and out of like his morals. Like he believes
the
nothing.
only thing he believes in is his personal gain.
Like
that's it.
Like there's a quick conversation in the movie because Molly Burkhart, his wife, is a Catholic, and she asks him what religion he is, and he's like, I'm a Catholic, and she says, I don't ever see you at church, and then he just kind of shrugs it off. And I think that even a small scene like that in this like giant movie is like a really keen eye into that character, where like he says he believes these things,
and he doesn't.
And he maybe does a little bit. He supposedly, along with that, would hold these morals. He supposedly loves his wife, but like he doesn't have the guts to like stick with any of that.
No, yeah,
like
he will always take the easiest way out.
He's
the easiest way out is usually
like,
read evil, whatever his uncle wants him to do.
In the war, he didn't fight. Like he was a cook in the infantry. Like
yeah,
he didn't,
which is the easiest thing to do.
He was
relatively.
He's a guy who just like
no offense to military cooks.
Yeah,
you know, but you get what I'm saying here.
Hats off to you, military cooks. But like he shows up in the town and just immediately goes to his uncle, and his uncle immediately gives him a job, and he just does it until something comes along. And his uncle, like, even though I do think he loved his wife, I don't think he had an entire idea of what he was doing to her directly, although I do think he had some idea.
No, I think he knew what he was doing. He murdered both. Like,
no, I'm saying like in terms of like poisoning her.
Like, I mean, he knew she was.
I think he knew he was poisoning her, but I think like in his mind he was like, "This is for the greater good.
It'll pay off in the end."
He convinced himself that this action that someone else was having him do, out of zero actual concern for this person
he rationalized the evil stuff he was doing. Yeah, which again, credit to Leonardo DiCaprio's performance. His charisma helps to pull the audience into that, and it sucks you into it too. You know, not that you're like, not that you're agreeing with his actions, but that you can see how someone could get sucked into this, this train of thought.
Yeah, and because I think this movie is about two different types of people who do evil. One is the person who initiates it, and the other is the person who goes along with it. Because King Hale, right, is the guy initiating it. He's the guy at the top.
He's running the whole.
He's the one manipulating all these people, lying to them, getting all of these people in place, and having them killed, and taking all their stuff, and just putting on this character the whole time that he's this friendly man of the people and of the town, and he's a charitable man looking for the killers, and he's just not.
Yeah, like there's one point in the movie where all the Osage are like in their like tent, and they're like having a conversation about like
the murders
that are going on, which in my opinion that also, but that's beside my point. But King Hale like is like, I will offer $1,000 to anyone with any information about this, but you got to come to me first. And I was like,
he's obvious, and it's obvious he's going.
I'm going outside. It's so obvious that he's just
going to
kill
whoever the information. Yeah.
But to them, it looks like oh wow, look at this guy. He's putting his money where his mouth is. He's helping us out. You're one of the good ones, bud. Even though he's running the whole thing.
Yeah, he's the guy doing the evil with nothing on his face, and Leonardo DiCaprio is the person going along with the evil with a scowl or a frown on his face.
Yeah.
Like, one is doing it and feels something but doesn't stop it, and one is just doing it and feels nothing. And I think
that's just his thing.
That's what the movie is about. It's like those two types of evil, and how even if you're a good person, that Ernest Burkhart isn't really, but like he's not a terrible human being, right? At the start.
I mean, at the start, he's just a guy.
But if you just slowly let that, like, other people manipulate you and push you and push you and push you, and you never at some point say to stop.
He never draws the line.
He will never draw the line. He just keeps going along with it. And even if he didn't intend for all this to go the way it did, that's how it ended up, and it's still his fault.
And he could have, done...
He could have done something about it. This whole movie is about people who could have stopped it and didn't.
But it was his greed that also kept him from saying anything, because he also stood to gain a lot from this whole... Now, I don't think, from my perspective, my understanding is that King Hale was also planning on having Ernest killed.
Probably at some point, yeah.
That's why he had him sign that little document saying that, like, oh, we got to keep the money in the family in case something happens to you. And of course, Ernest just goes, okay. But yeah, he never draws the line. He just keeps going. He never asks. He never thinks critically about really what's going on. He doesn't see past the immediate gain to him, or and he will rationalize everything away in order to justify that.
Because he never feels anything until, like, it hits him. Like, you never see him really feel bad for any of this.
It's not until he has to
until
confess.
His daughter dies.
Yeah,
Which is, like, because of an unrelated thing, but because when his daughter dies, like, that's when you see him feel something. Like,
because that's when he realizes
it's none of his other relatives, it's no one else. It's that only when he actually feels the same
his immediate
pain
family.
that his wife felt, or that all these other people felt, does he actually, like, realize the horrible thing he did and decides to confess all of his crimes to the FBI.
I think at least, again, because this is all, again, real stuff that happened, and this is a movie version of it. So in the movie, my understanding is that's when he chose to draw the line.
Yeah.
That's when he was like, my family is the most important thing.
When they were pretty much
going to
get him
family.
anyway.
Yeah. Even though he was already, for all intents and purposes, toast. He was already toasted.
Yeah.
That's when he did choose, okay, my family is, I'm choosing now, even though it was too late. That's when he chose.
And even then, none of that redeems him for anything he does. Like, he used everyone in this who is a star or is committing these crimes is a reprehensible human being.
Yeah.
And what I think this movie does so well is just the casual nature of their evil. Like, they go to that, like, grub in, like, the mine who's got, like, the funny, he kind of looks like Sam Elliott. He's got, like,
what's the cowboy show? Lone Ranger villain.
They go to him and they're like, will you kill this person? And he's like,
all right.
He's like,
shoot,
nah. And then they're like, oh, it's a Native American. And he's like, sure, I'll do it.
Why didn't you say so?
And there's no grand music. There's no giant, like...
No, it's a very casual
It's a very casual thing. That's what this whole movie is about, which is why I think it kind of hits that level of tension and that level of, like, complacency in the audience, and it just never stops. Because it wants to draw you into that, like, same mindset as everyone doing this, and just make you feel as casual as possible.
Well, there's even that one scene where even after his uncle's been arrested, he's talking to Molly in, like, their house, and he's like, oh, the police made me say all these lies, they tortured me in there, my uncle's a good guy, I'm gonna go testify for him. Even then, Molly is still trying to, like, she wants something desperately
good to be in there.
Him. She wants so desperately,
but she doesn't.
to believe that the person she chose is not a horrible, evil person who did horrible, evil things. Even though she knows at this point that he is responsible in a large part for the deaths of her sisters.
Yeah,
she still She doesn't say anything. She doesn't talk back to him. She doesn't fight him on anything. She gives him a hug, and then he goes out and gets arrested. It's a very, very sad thing to watch.
And her whole character is this person who has been like shaped by other people, just talking down to her entire life. She's a Native American woman, and that is like the lowest thing you can possibly be to all of these white people who run this town. Like,
well, even in this town that is where
extraordinarily wealthy.
Well, and specifically the Osage have a lot of power there because they have all of the wealth there. Like, that was another interesting part of the movie is you see a lot of these like big, fancy houses the Osage people are living in, and they have like, the white servant people, which again was a real thing that was going on there. And that's just interesting because you don't see that in a lot of other places in America in history. The like indigenous or the
I believe at
minority
one point,
population.
They were the richest people like
per capita
in the world. Yeah. But like only when it's a really interesting story about desperate people versus completely undesperate people. King Hale and his whole group of people doing all these murders are literally just casually doing it. They have no reason to. It's not out of vengeance. It's literally just simply out of, I want this thing. I'm going to completely discard all this human life and take what I want. And then Molly really is like the one out of all these people being victimized to at least try to go do something. Like, she's the one. Only when, like, everyone in this entire system of government cares so little about them, from like the doctors to the police to the people who run the general store and the bank. Like, all of these people do not care about the Native Americans. They are there to manipulate them and steal from them.
Well, and when they did try to appeal to a higher authority, the federal government, they were often killed or like stopped in some way.
The FBI, or at this point in the movie, it's called the BOI, because at this point it was just the Bureau of Investigation. Like, they only show up because she talks directly to the president.
Yeah,
like that's the only way she can get anyone to pay attention to this. And in real life, they don't address this in the movie directly, but in real life, the only reason the FBI took up this case was because they were not seen as a like legitimate agency with legitimate methods up to that point.
And
this was a high-profile thing to prove themselves. And I think Jesse Plemons, who plays like the leader of the FBI investigation, who shows up like 2 hours into this,
it was really good.
He's really great, and he really sells this just like, all right, we're here, we're gonna do this.
Like, they're also, you can
they don't care either.
Well, not that they don't care, but they're trying to figure out how to even run their stuff. Like, they're all going out and like talking to different people.
Yeah.
They can't get a good
testify?
read on anything.
Are you going to testify? He's not testifying. What is happening?
They can't get a solid story out of the doctor. So they go to the constable. Constable's locked up. He's not saying anything. So they go to the coroner. Coroner doesn't want to say anything either. They keep going around and around in circles, and they can't get a story straight until they find, a couple of loose ends here and there, and they start to put the clues together. But like, the town was very much in lockdown. Like, Hale very much had his hands in any sort of local authoritative body. And that made it very, very hard to actually get justice to happen.
Yeah.
It took that, that federal outside institution to come in and go around him.
Yeah, it's like only when a power way beyond any of their control shows up does this all collapse. And I love how once they get there, it collapses like immediately.
Oh, it goes.
They all start turning on
fast.
each other. They have to bring in their crack legal team of Brendan Fraser, like, and he's just like throwing wall-eyed fits at the wall because he like can't keep any of this under control.
Okay, it is and I don't know if this is actually how it played out, but it is insane to me that they brought him up to testify, and then they were like, no, he can't testify. I get to talk to him first, which is super not how that works. Super illegal. Can't do that.
Well, you probably could have done it then.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how if this is exactly how it played out, but at least the way it's portrayed in the movie, that is a abhorrent miscarriage of justice there. That is not how you're supposed to do that. And that kind of builds
to this whole theme of like, all of these people are stupid. And the only reason they get away with this is because they've convinced all these other people to go along with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's about people who had at any minute stopped this from happening and don't, because of just the simple idea that they'll gain something from it.
Yeah.
No one in this movie none of the killers or the people go along with the killings have any morals. They just do what they're told, they benefit, and they let it all pass.
Well, okay, there is that one guy with the big mustache who like sort of befriends that like alcoholic guy, and then like they become friends, and he shoots him, and he's like, "All right, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. I'm out. I'm not doing any jobs for you. It's horrible.
Yeah.
I hate this. This is bad. I'm not doing it anymore."
Because it finally...
And he's the first one, I think the first one to flip.
And it's because he accidentally humanized the other person.
Yeah.
It's this blissful ignorance of these people don't count as real people, so I can do whatever I want to them, and it's fine. And as soon as that idea...
And I mean, it's awful that it took him murdering a guy to figure that out.
And as soon as that idea is in any way fractured, it sends them all into a spiral. It's a operation driven by complete ignorance and greed.
Yeah.
And that drives this whole thing. And there's just like cops who don't care and doctors who are actively poisoning members of the community. And it's all of that. It's this whole operation of
not only actively poisoning, but also actively covering up the murders as well.
It's dehumanizing other people. And then as soon as you even accidentally humanize them, it ruins your whole worldview. Because to live in that...
You realize what you've done is completely
Because to live in that
unjustifiable.
bubble is like the most evil thing you can do. And none of these characters like cope with their actions. Even physically, none of them face any real consequences for this. Some of them wind up in jail for a little bit, but they all get out. And the one who dies early is Molly from diabetes at age 50. And there's a cameo, but I'm sure you enjoyed Marty's cameo
Scorsese at the end.
That was also
okay. That whole like
what did you think of that though? Why do you think he did that?
I do actually like that. That was a very cool, because okay, this is why I think he did that. I think he liked how the movie ended with that scene where Ernest finally confesses to poisoning or doesn't confess, but just like isn't able to confess to Molly that he was poisoning the insulin. And it's just silence, and then she gets up and leaves, and then you learn that they divorced. But that scene is very, very powerful.
Yeah,
I like that he ended on that scene. I think though that he wanted to in some way, wrap up all the loose ends. And I think that this is my opinion. I think he just wanted to do it in a fun way. He didn't want to do it like picture, text.
Yeah.
This person did whatever. Picture, text. This person did whatever. Like kind of like how the Nike movie.
I think it serves that purpose, and I think it's also about like how these real people who suffered these absolute tragedies, all of their stories just get turned into like fun folklore for everyone else.
Yeah.
It's like a true crime podcast where they're like making their sound effects and like Jack White's there.
Oh, yeah, that's how the radio shows.
Yeah, not playing Jack White, but Jack White's there like reading the script of one of the characters. Like
that was okay. Again,
I think that was like his final touching theme of the whole movie was like, this is treated so real in this movie because these people were real. And the only way that this evil like this can continue and reemerge is if it becomes folklore, if it becomes a thing that people treat as fiction.
Yeah, I like that interpretation.
I think that's kind of what he was saying, because
I do again. I like the part where they're doing their little like play, like acting it out.
Yeah.
Where like Ernest goes to live with his brother in the trailer park, right? And he's got a match for my Lucky Strike, which is, I don't know if you caught that, but that's the sponsor of the radio show. They have a product placement in their 1920s radio show about this guy who murdered everyone.
Yeah, because like it becomes entertainment for the masses.
Yeah.
It just becomes this general product. And I think Scorsese is very conscious of the fact that,
although again,
this movie in a way is that.
Yeah, no matter how much you try to meta yourself out of it, that is still what this movie is.
I think that's why he's the last one out, and he reads the obituary, because he kind of feels some level of, I don't know if it's guilt or something. I don't know. Again, I don't know. I can't interpret all this. I don't know if this is what he meant or what, but I think he feels some level of like complacency in the whole operation by making this movie.
Well, there's a balance to be struck between telling a story in earnest so that it is something that everyone is aware of, because I didn't know about this whole thing before the
Yeah,
movie
no,
I was totally unaware of all this. This in a very real way educated me on something I was unaware of.
Mm-hmm.
And that balance between genuine care to tell a story so that people can learn from it,
Yeah,
and telling a story
so that a studio can make money on it.
Money is very hard to strike. I think this movie does a good job of it. Again, it's kind of hard to tell in the world that we live in what is authentic and what isn't.
Yeah.
In terms of the motives behind people doing what they do. But from everything I've heard from, or at least from the majority of the things I've heard from, like the Osage people in response to this, it seems very positive. It seems like a good faith effort to
and I believe it is.
Real.
I think just from like, again, I don't know the guy, but just from like seeing interviews with Martin Scorsese and just like him talking about this movie, this is one he tried to make for like a really long time. Like I think before the book even came out, he was trying to get some version of this movie made, and it kind of shifted after that book did. Like I think this is a story that's very important to him because these kind of stories are always important to him. He's known as the guy who makes mobster movies, and I think that's because one, he's made multiple. Two, he grew up in that environment, and three, I think it's because he's fascinated with evil people living in an evil world and like living in this little bubble of exploitation and greed and malice, and what happens when that bubble is popped. Like, I think that's what kind of engages him as a filmmaker, is that idea. And it's present in a lot of his movies. And I think that's really why he wanted to do this one and why he did it the way he did. I really, really loved it. I don't know if it's my favorite movie of the year. I definitely want to watch it again, although it's not a movie that like it's super fun to rewatch. Although there is some actually funny little bits.
The dialogue in this movie is so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Every character is just so well encapsulated in every bit of their dialogue.
Yeah.
Like you understand everything about them. Not even from just the words they're saying, but again, the performances, the way they say it, the way they read certain lines.
Has a purpose and adds to the character while still feeling like a natural, authentic thing that could have happened.
That's why I didn't mind the length so much in this movie, is just because I found all of these people.
See, for me,
and this whole environment so interesting. I like it was just.
It wasn't the scenes where there was a lot of dialogue that really sort of, I guess, like, started to drone on for me. It was like when there's a 3-minute long shot of a guy dancing at the wedding who's not even a named character. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I can understand the length complaint. I can. It's hard to justify any movie being
the other one to me is when and this is a dialogue thing, but it's when the Osage Council is like doing their little council, and I don't know if he was the chief or just like a guy who was talking, and he says like, "This is terrible. What's happening to our people is awful," and he goes, "This is terrible. What's happening to our people is," and he just says that in different ways, like for a solid 4 or 5 minutes, and I was like, "All right, okay, but what's happening though? What are we doing? let's speed it up a little bit."
Yeah, I think, I really, really loved everything about this movie. I think it's worth seeing. I think the response to it has mostly been very positive, and I think that's well deserved. I think Lily Gladstone definitely deserves a lot of appreciation for her performance, for a character that she performs so well and you feel so attached to, even though she doesn't physically do a whole lot. It's just her ability to just physically show her emotions on screen in all of these different situations.
She's a very, very empathetic character.
She's super empathetic, and that is raw acting talent. When without words and without actions, you can just exude an emotion through your face and body language. Like that is a supreme level of skill, and I think she rightfully and probably will get a lot of recognition for it. Every actor in this movie is great.
Yeah, there weren't any.
I know people were making fun of Brendan Fraser, but I think that character is intentionally
kind of hyperbolic,
kind of hyper and all over the place. He's like a crooked lawyer for this. I mean, he's
okay. And think about the situation he's in right now.
Yeah,
their host,
their operation is He's probably gonna go to jail too.
So screwed. And we know that he was in on all this because he's signed a contract with the guy. So like,
yeah,
we know he's been working with them to do this kind of stuff for a while. So like, this dude's panicking. You know, everything's on the line for this guy. His brain's frazzled, and you can really see that too, and especially in that scene where they take Ernest in, and they're like grilling him. They're like, "You don't want to send Uncle to jail, do you? Come on now, but play along, be a good sport." And he's like, "Oh,
his strategy is just kind of yell at him into complacency, and it works.
And it works because he's such a
spineless coward. Yeah. I think
good all around.
I think this is just really good. I think it's a definite recommend for me. If I know it's a long investment of your time, but I do think it's really worth seeing in a movie theater.
I don't know if it's for everyone because
I don't think it is either.
I feel like some people will not be able to care enough to invest the time.
Again, it's a movie that you have to invest the time in to watch and then invest the time in to digest afterwards.
And it also takes a little bit of time to get going.
Yeah. It's an investment. And I think a lot of people, and I'm sure we'll talk about them right now, who think movies exist to just like eat and to consume and then forget. I think like that, if that's what if you're going into this expecting to have a fun time, don't. If you're going in this to be entertained in an intellectual way, I think that's probably the better way to approach this. In an emotional way, you're going to emotionally relate to these characters and their situation, and I think that's important. But yeah, that's a definite recommend for me. In terms of social media chatter on it, the two, I don't know their names. I don't know the name of their TikTok podcast. I'm sure you saw the clip going around on Twitter.
I'm not.
What are you? Because you talked to me about this earlier. About what response were you talking about?
So there was, I believe he was like a translator who helped with the movie. It was one of the people.
Oh, yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a member of the Osage people. He said something along the lines of like he didn't like how they were portrayed as in love because he felt like that was not valid given the actions of Ernest, which I totally understand. That's a valid that's a valid feeling.
I think it's purposely up to interpretation whether or not he actually did, because nobody knows.
Scorsese has said that the reason he did it that way is because he conversed with members of the family, and it is the opinion of the family that he did genuinely love her, and so that's how he chose to go forward with that narrative. So I do I do understand why that would be frustrating. That could be frustrating for someone to watch.
He's not wrong. Like, he might have emotionally loved her, but he didn't show any of it. His actions didn't reflect it.
Poisoned her.
Like, he is an intentionally complex person,
and I think
emotionally, and because every person is.
Grasp. Yeah.
An evil person still feels something, and I think that's in a lot of ways what this movie is about, is what that evil person is feeling while they do the evil. So I think having an issue with or having a different interpretation about that relationship is perfectly genuine, especially from that background who probably sees this movie in a completely different way than you or I see this.
Yeah.
I totally understand his opinion on it and his whole take. I think it's important that people of a Native American background watch this movie and have interpretations about it, because
and there were also
in a way this is it's a very important part of not only their history but also broadly American history that is often purposely forgotten about and covered up.
There was also a fair amount of criticism leveled saying that the movie should have been from the perspective of the Osage. And again, I think we've kind of talked about it at length.
Yeah, I think it's mainly just because
I
don't know how you make this movie from their perspective,
because while keeping in line with the themes that I think Scorsese was trying to do.
Also because they were so unaware of what was happening and were not in a situation to do anything about it. Like, you can't
they weren't completely passive.
No, I'm not saying they were. I'm just saying, like, you can't make the movie where they, like, because a lot of that movie would just be bad things happening to them and them reacting to it.
Which is still a valid story to tell. And maybe, hey, if that's the story you're passionate about, go tell that story. But
also practically in a movie that's hard to make work. And
well, you could do that. But my point is the themes that are being explored here, which is the nature of how evil is spread through coercion
Yeah.
and what's the word?
Manipulation.
Not manipulation, but when you go along with something.
Just complacency.
Complacency. It's about how evil is spread through manipulation
Yeah.
and complacency, and the Osage people are the victims here. They're being taken advantage of. And to tell the story of how evil is spreading, especially if part of the way you're telling that story is to get the audience to go along, like to sort of empathize with that trail of destruction, you have to tell it from the perspective of the person doing the violence.
Yeah.
Which
they were.
Hence hence the movie.
They are the killers of the Flower Moon. The Flower Moon is this peaceful, bright, beautiful thing. And they are the killers of it. This beautiful, wonderful thing that happened to these people in this community. And they are the ones draining it of its life. Like that is purposely what this movie is called and what this whole story is about. So anyway, that's Killers of the Flower Moon. A really, really interesting movie. I think worth a lot of discussion.
One thing I feel is like kind of like super overlooked in the movie. It's like introduced and then never really comes up again.
Mm-hmm.
But the uncle being like a 32nd degree Mason, they like go into the Masonic Lodge. They do this whole like spanking thing. Now the whole time I'm like, what's going on? And then they never bring it up again. Are there other people in the town that are also? Why do they have a Masonic Lodge if there's only like 2 guys?
They hang out a lot in the Masonic Lodge.
They go there twice in the whole movie. It may have just been once.
I think it's just one of those things where it's like that's probably a detail from the case was that he was a Freemason and did a lot of his business. But the fact that he is a
Freemason says a lot about his sort of the power that he has. You know, he's in this organization that is generally thought of as sort of a high up, sort of top secret kind of like cultish, concentration of power. And it's during that scene that he also says, like, we got to make sure that money flows in the right direction.
Yeah.
Being into the hands of the white people. Yeah. Which I don't know a whole lot about the Masons now, but at that time,
the Masons still exist.
They do still exist. So please don't orchestrate my destruction via.
I don't know what they do,
but they just kind of generally control stuff. They just meet up and say we're gonna try to do this thing. But I think during that time, it is more than likely that a lot of what they were trying to achieve was the concentration of power into upper class of people who were all white.
Yeah.
And so that does play a big part in, I think, the uncle's mindset. And I feel like that was just a little... Out of all the time this movie takes, I feel like we could have spent maybe another scene or 2 on that. They brought it up and then don't really explain.
Anyway, that's interesting movie.
Really good.
If you have thoughts on it, leave them in the comments. Or tweet them at us. We won't read them.
Or we will, since no one else tweets at us.
I'm bored. You can read the first person. Anyway, but I think that's enough discussion on that. I think we can move on to our fun Halloween times.
You gotta put the hot dog back on now.
Woo, a hood coming back up.
That's the fun time burp.
All right, Sam, you want to do some film or fake?
Hit me with them films and them fakes.
So I have 9. I have 9 of these.
9, okay.
Okay. Again, these are I'm gonna read a title and a quick little plot summary. And Sam is going to have to guess whether these are movies that I came up with.
Oh, we should have done ChatGPT. We should have had ChatGPT come up with fake movies.
I may or may not have used ChatGPT on some of these.
Well, because that's big. We can put that on the thumbnail. That's a big
ChatGPT logo. So Sam has to decide whether these are fake movies that I came up with or real movies that he's almost certainly never heard of. Okay. So Sam, I'm gonna put my poker face on. All right. First one up. You ready?
Hit me.
Road Rage, a tale of suspense, terror, and zombie motorcycle riders.
That's definitely real.
When Jack and his group of rowdy teen friends are driving through Romero, Ohio, they quickly anger the local motorcycle gang. The group quickly escapes, but later that night, they return having changed into undead zombies. What ensues is a deadly fight to the death, ancient Celtic rituals, and insane motorcycle stunts.
There's no way that a movie called Road Rage about zombies and motorcycles has not been made yet. So I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna say that.
If it hasn't, we got to do it tomorrow.
Yeah, because it'd be so easy.
So you're going film?
I'm gonna go film.
That was fake.
Oh dang!
I got him, boys.
I was really specific with the Celtic rituals.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I gotta put something specific in these. It's gotta be zombie motorcycle.
Although it would be
rides.
kind of weird if since the main characters are zombies. That doesn't, that's.
Oh no,
odd,
it's weirdly I didn't word it correctly. the motorcycle gang are the zombies.
Yeah, but I thought they were the main guys.
No,
Who's the main guys?
a group of rowdy teen friends.
Well, I thought they.
By
were
the way, most
motorcycle
B
gang.
horror movies in the 80s, there's a lot of groups of rowdy teen friends.
Yeah.
All right, that's 0 points. 0 of 9 points, Sam. I thought this is normally really easy for you. All right, here's another one. Whispers from the Abyss. In the isolated town of Black Hollow, a group of researchers led by Dr. Amanda Hartley enters a haunting mansion in search of the Eye of Desolation, an ancient artifact of unspeakable power. They soon get more than what they bargained for when they unwittingly unleash a nightmarish force that turns the grandiose mansion into a shifting maze of corridors and vengeful spirits. Amanda has only hours to find the eye, escape the maze, and put the spirits to rest before dawn.
Oh no, that sounds dumb. I'll go fake.
All right, you got me. That's one fake.
That just sounds like it would be so boring. Like she just goes, finds a random eye, and then like wanders around through a maze for a while. Like, how is that? That would not be a movie.
Presumably there'd be ghosts flying around or something. I don't know.
It's just haunted mansion, but like with some extra random stuff.
When we're at the end of this, you want to guess which ones were ChatGPT.
I'm guessing that was
this one was
because it doesn't make any sense.
I got tired at a certain point. It was just like
You got tired making the second one.
It's been a long day. And
The second one, you were like, all right.
I shuffled them around, but I got to the point where it was like an hour, 2 hours before we started this, and I was just like, ChatGPT, make a horror movie.
Fake movie.
All right. Next up, Night of the Demon. Carla Thomas approaches an anthropology professor about how her father was murdered by Bigfoot. They form a group and go deep into the woods to find the creature, and along the way encounter brutalized bikers, Girl Scouts, and even a satanic cult.
I'll go film.
That's real.
Yep, let's go.
Night of the Demon.
It's just stupid. See, that's just stupid enough because it's called Night of the Demon. It's about Bigfoot.
Yep.
And like a bunch of other random details that don't need to be involved at all. That sounds like exactly something someone who has no idea how to make a movie would do.
The actual description for this movie, like on the back of the VHS box, has a lot more talk about the interspecies copulation that occurs in the film.
What?
Yeah.
It's like a bestiality like fetish movie?
Yeah, pretty much.
Why?
I don't know.
The 80s.
It's the 80s, man. Probably cost $10,000 to make.
I still can't remember the name of that one movie we saw where those kids get, like, their car gets stolen, but the kids are in the car, and then the criminals drive to a mountain, and then there's like a Native American spirit wolf that's like connected to one of the girls who like helps them escape.
What are you talking about?
It is a movie we saw. Like, it was one that like Mama got on like a 4-pack DVD set of movies one time. And we watched it, and it was awful. And
I have no idea what you're talking about.
And there was this one kid who was, like, slightly chubby, and they kept calling him, like, fatty, and they kept, like, punching him and stuff. It was so... And the whole movie, he keeps eating ho-hos. Like, the host is, like, little fake things. I don't remember what this movie is called.
What happens in it? Like, what's the general premise?
The general premise is that I think it's 3 kids, are in this car, and it gets stolen by these 2 criminals. And so the criminals steal the car, and they don't realize the kids are in there. And they go to this mountain, and then they realize there's kids in there, and they're like, all right, well, let's take them up the mountain and kill them. Even though they could just kill them right there. They just take them up the mountain anyway. And then the whole time they're going up this mountain, and then, like, a spirit wolf-like thing that's vaguely...
Are you sure this is not a dream you had?
No, this is a movie we saw. This is a movie we watched the whole movie. It's very bad, but we saw it.
Can someone please find this movie for us, please?
Maybe I'll try to find it later on. But anyway, what's the next thing?
All right, next one. Blood Harvest. In the seemingly normal town of Whispering Pines, the annual harvest festival is upon the inhabitants. As the date of the parade slowly approaches, residents of the town are slowly massacred by an unknown killer who attacks each resident with a different gardening tool.
What?
Sarah must uncover the tragic secret past of the town and confront the killer before his blood harvest is complete.
No, I could go either way. I'll go film.
Ah, it was a fake.
Oh, that was
I
a
knew
fake?
I'd get you with the
Damn.
gardening tool thing. It's too specific.
That just seemed like something that you would have added. So like that's what made me question
That
it.
it sounds
Everything
like a real
sounds
movie
real
until that
except
part.
that part. I was like, what? Why would it mention the different gardening tool? That doesn't make any sense.
All right, so you're up to you got
think I've
2 out of 4.
Okay.
So you're doing okay. There's by the way, there's 9. So there's 5 left. Okay. No, wait. Yeah, there's okay.
Yeah, there's 5 left if there.
Sorry, it's been a long day. Primal Rage. A scientist at a Florida university is attempting to restore the dead brain tissue of baboons. When one night a student from the college newspaper breaks into the lab, he's bitten by one of the baboons and has now infected him with rage virus.
I've actually heard of that. I think that
He goes on a rampage that spreads it all across campus.
I'm pretty sure that's real.
That
I'm
is
pretty
real.
sure I've heard
Primal
of that.
Rage. You probably have. I don't know. Some of these you might have heard of. Some of them you already haven't.
For
Did
some
we do this
reason,
last?
I feel like I heard about that.
Did we do this last Halloween?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
No, I think we did it. I don't know if we did it last Halloween. Maybe.
I know we did games last Halloween. I don't know if we did this one. Because if we did, I'm pretty sure we might have used this one.
I think I've heard of
So
this
you're
movie
at 3
before,
and
though.
2. All right, here's this next one. Haunted Ween. A group of college students, another group of college students,
I think I've seen the
are
cover
having a
for this one.
fundraiser in an abandoned house that had a tragic accident 20 years ago. While they are setting up, they discover that they are being preyed upon by a sadistic psychopath who chases them throughout the house and has a connection to its dark past.
Pretty sure
Haunted Ween.
I'm pretty sure that's real. I think I've seen just the cover for it in like a video of someone making fun of horror movies.
That's correct. That's a real movie.
Yeah,
You're 4 and
that's-
2.
I knew it. I knew I heard a Haunted Ween because
Haunted Ween.
at some point someone like made a joke about it, there being a movie called Haunted Ween. I don't.
How's that? I mean, I guess there's like no oversight. This movie was probably greenlit and shot in 3 days.
It's probably like some student film that was made in like a basement.
Anyway, all right. 3 left. The next one. Let me eat this Skittle real quick.
Candy break.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
choke
just
on the
ate
candy.
McDonald's.
Yeah, this is by far the most unhealthy episode we've ever done. Odyssey of the Blood Moon. In the chilling depths of outer space, the Odyssey drifts about on a mission to discover life on other worlds. The crew mistakenly brings on a life form from a mysterious abandoned ship. What the crew thought was a corpse turns out to be Dracula himself, who slowly devours the crew who attempt to escape the ship and return home.
That's a fake.
That is a fake. How'd you get
That's
me?
also a Chat GPT fake because it like stole the name of a ship from a different thing.
That was me, though.
Well, then you sounded like Chat GPT because you stole the name of a ship from a different thing.
Why?
There's like a million space movies with ships called the
Oh,
Odyssey.
that's
That's like the
not-
number one ship name. That's the number one thing you name spaceships.
You come up with like 5 different fake movie ideas in one day.
I could do that so fast.
Maybe you could do this next
Yeah,
year.
next time I'll do it.
All right. Okay, these last 2 are special. I'm going to read you 2 titles of horror sequels.
Okay.
In a franchise. One of them is a real sequel. One of them is a fake sequel. And you have to decide which one I came up with.
Okay.
So we have the Amityville Reckoning versus the Amityville Cult.
Oh, so they're like the same name.
Yeah, well, it's the same franchise. So the Amityville Reckoning. The Owens family moves into the infamous Amityville house, unaware of the home's sinister history. As the days go on however, mysterious happenings occur in the house that lead the family to believe that their worst nightmares have come true. Amityville has reawakened, and this time it threatens to unleash an army of spirits on the entire town.
Ghostbusters without the Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm. All right. And this is the Amityville Cult. After unexpectedly and mysteriously inheriting his estranged grandmother's mansion, Stanley finds himself in the small town of Amityville and is surrounded by buried family secrets and a sinister plot against him.
I don't know. Reckoning is like something that happens after something else has happened. So I'm gonna go with that one. I don't know, they both could be real. They're like basically the same movie.
I gotcha. Reckoning is the fake one.
Oh, all right, you got me.
By the way, Amityville is in the public domain. So there's a million completely unrelated movies that just have Amityville in the title.
What is Amityville? I've never even heard of that.
You've never heard of the Amityville haunting?
No.
It's a very famous like possession haunted house case from like the 60s. It was one of Ed and Lorraine Warren's first cases. There's a movie about it. There's a book about it. There's a million sequels and unrelated.
Ed and Lorraine Warren are the most annoying people on earth.
They're dead now.
Yeah, they're still.
But I'm sure their ghost. I'm sure their ghost haunts their fraud gift shop. Or whatever.
No, who's gonna banish their ghosts? No one can do it because they're gone.
All right, so you're at
maybe that was their plan all along, to monopolize the ghost busting industry, so that when they become ghosts, no one can bust them.
So you're 4-3. You're either going to be 4-4, or no, wait, hold on. You're 5-3. So either way, you got a winning record, but you can get this last one. All right, here we go. Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers, or Halloween Resurrection. This is the Curse of Michael Myers summary. 6 years after Michael Myers' last massacre in Haddonfield, Jamie Lloyd has a child but is then killed by Michael. Michael is allied with the Cult of Thorn, both protect him and gave him the Curse of Thorn, the reason he killed all of his family. The Strode family has also moved into the Myers house and are stalked by Michael. Sam Loomis and Tommy Doyle, a boy Laurie babysat during Michael's first rampage, are now out to stop Michael and the cult. Michael heads to kill Jamie's son and the rest of Laurie's family, but Dr. Loomis and Tommy plan to stop the curse, defeat the cult, stop Michael, and put an end to his murderous rampages once and for all.
Seems like a lot for one Michael Myers.
All right, that's Curse of Michael Myers. This is Resurrection. Michael's story with his sister, Laurie Strode, has finally come to an end, but his story is not yet over. Freddie Harris and Nora Winston are reality programmers at Dangertainment and are planning to send a group of 6 thrill-seeking teenagers into the childhood home of Myers. Cameras are placed all over the home and no one can get out of the house. And then Michael arrives home.
That one's real. That's the one. Isn't that the one with the rapper in it where he gets kicked out a window?
I cannot confirm or deny.
Yeah, that's the real one, because that's the one where he gets. Is it Ice-T? Is it Ice-T that kicks him out a window?
No.
Some rapper kicks him out a window. And
it's Busta Rhymes.
Yeah, Busta Rhymes.
But I got you. They're both real. Those are both real movies.
The first one just sounds like it was too long.
It's only an hour and 20 minutes.
And like the thing, a kid that this girl babysat once is here. Like,
that's the whole Halloween franchise. It's like they get to the 8th movie and they're like, "Remember the nurse who sat in a car in the third movie?" It's like
Star Wars, but like even dumber. Because at least
it's Star Wars, but none of the characters do anything.
Yeah, like at least in Star Wars when they do Glup Crapo, like Glup Crapo at least like did something at some point.
This or like had a unique design. These are just like random people in the back of a general store who they bring back, hand a gun, and like have them run around chase Michael Myers for a movie. All right, yeah, that was film or fake. So you ended up with a record of 5-4. I tricked you on a couple of them.
Pretty good.
Normally you just get them all.
I lose.
All right. So want to do the tier list and then the trivia, or the trivia and then the tier list?
Let's do trivia and then the tier list, because I feel like the tier list I'm probably not gonna have a lot of on, because probably most of
it. Yeah, probably. So do you want horror movie trivia or just general Halloween trivia?
I don't know. What did we did you make one, or are we just picking
no, I just have 2 different trivia websites open.
Oh, I don't know.
Which one do you want to do?
Pick one. Coin.
All right, we'll just do random Halloween trivia. That's a pun. That's not trivia. All right. These are mostly puns.
How is it? What do you mean they're
what
mostly
U.S.
puns?
city hosts the world's largest Halloween parade?
Salem.
You going with Salem, Massachusetts?
I don't. New York. I don't know.
It is New York.
Yeah, New York is the biggest population, so it's probably New York.
Edward Cullen is a vampire in what popular movie and book series?
Oh, Twilight.
Who wrote?
I'm trying to remember if it was Vampire Diaries or Twilight.
They're the same. Who wrote the 1818 classic book Frankenstein?
Woman, but
you're going with woman?
A woman wrote it. I don't know.
Mary Shelley.
I was right.
A wife of famous poet Percy Shelley. Also, she initially published the book under his name
Yeah, see, I
Because she
remember
thought
that it
more
was a
people would
woman
read it.
because it was published under
Yeah,
husband's name.
because women can't be doing reading and writing. Back
Yeah,
then.
that's why I knew that, but I didn't remember.
What actor played Laurie Strode in the 1978 movie Halloween?
I don't know. Who the heck is Laurie Strode?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, okay, yeah, she's in those movies. That's
What percentage of Americans pretend they're not home on Halloween? This is according to a 2021 YouGov
30%.
poll. 30?
Some 30%.
That's pretty close. It was 21.
That's neat.
1 in 5
Okay.
adults say they pretend they're not home. That's actually pretty low.
Yeah, I thought it would be higher.
I
than
would say it's actually higher.
that. I feel like it's gone up a lot since that was.
it has. More and more people just leave the bucket.
Because I remember when we lived in Prosper, the first 2 Halloweens there were huge. Like the neighborhood was packed. Like streets were full of people. Everyone was having a good time. And then a couple years down the line, it was literally just us, and there were just buckets everywhere. Bad now, and that's when we started going to our friend's neighborhood.
Yeah. What movie serial killer is immortalized with a statue at the bottom of a lake?
Probably Michael Myers, since he goes taken to the bottom of a lake.
The correct answer is Jason Voorhees.
Oh, that's the same.
He's the one who gets taken to the
that's
bottom
the
of the lake.
same
You've
guy.
seen that movie.
Yeah.
You've seen number 6. That's the
Yep.
one where he gets dragged into a lake with a
Yeah,
boat
because
anchor.
all those kids are at the camp, and
Yeah.
then he menacingly stares at them through a window and then dies.
Yeah, that's what he's up to all the time. What Halloween spending category was expected? This is not proper English. What Halloween spending category was expected hit a record high in 2022?
Ooh,
Yeah, this is, I guess, from last.
I don't know, costume sales? I have no idea.
Pet costumes.
Okay, I guess I'm right. I didn't say what kind of species the costumes were.
According to a survey by CandyStore.com, which Halloween candy is considered the worst?
I don't know, Raisinets?
Do people really give those out on Halloween?
Probably not, because they suck.
Think what common Halloween candy?
Alt? What are those stupid balls?
Oh, what are they called? Whoppers?
Definitely not those, because... I don't know. Almond Joys.
All right, pause it.
Okay. What's the next?
Oh, you never.
Oh yeah. Almond Joys.
It's candy corn.
Oh yeah, that makes sucks.
You
Terrible.
actually? I think I like candy corn.
It's not even candy. It's just wax.
It does
colored
taste like wax,
orange.
but it's fun.
No, that's literally what it is.
It's fun.
No, one year a candle company had extra wax, added sugar to it, and made it candy. That's the story of candy corn is something like that. I don't know if it was specifically a candle company, but a company that had extra wax added corn syrup to it and made it candy because they had extra wax.
Which U.S. state produces the most pumpkins?
Idaho. No, Idaho does. I don't know. Indiana.
Illinois.
Okay, could have said anything in the Midwest.
What percentage of people plan to celebrate Halloween in 2022?
I don't know. The 80%,
I'll give you a hint. It's a funny number.
69%.
It's 69%. Let's see. You don't know that one.
Okay.
Who wrote The Legend of Sleepy Hollow?
I don't know. Ichabod Crane's the main guy. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was Ichabod. No, it's
Ichabod wrote it
It's
himself
not.
after he was murdered.
famous American poet Washington Irving. What's the most popular Halloween costume in the U.S. according to Google?
Probably either rabbit or.
I'll give you a hint. It's not an IP character. It's not like Spider-Man or Batman. Right?
Probably bunny.
It's
Or
actually a
cat.
witch.
Witch?
Mhm.
That's no way. That's not true. Name one person you know who has ever dressed up as a witch for Halloween.
My guess is it's like
ever.
I don't, but
Do you know anyone who has ever done that?
I think so. I think it's a thing that mostly the moms do.
I
Like
don't
they
know
stay
any
at
moms who've
home
done
and they
that.
dress in a witch costume, which is they put on leggings and a hat.
That's something that
They're gonna
even
have
if you
stuff
go
eatings.
around your neighborhood, there's maybe one or two moms dressed as witches. But you see like 5 or 10 kids dressed as Spider-Man. There's no way.
Spider-Man is definitely in the top 5.
There's no. I don't. I refuse to believe that. There's no way that is actually.
Also, Spider-Man, but Spider-Man's like a crappy costume. You gotta wear that mask.
There's no way that there aren't more like college girls going to parties dressing as a cat and wearing like lingerie than there are like people dressed as witches. Like there's definitely more of the cat girls than witches for sure.
Well, Google says otherwise.
Well, Google's wrong. Whoever they surveyed was witch biased.
Where is Transylvania, otherwise known as home to Count Dracula, located?
What place did Vlad rule over? I don't remember. Dracul was the name of the village at the time. I don't remember.
Romania.
Romania. Yep, that's the one.
What's the most popular?
Does that mean Andrew Tate is the current?
It's real life Dracula? Maybe he's back, dude. Maybe that's why he looks so weird. maybe he's not like prostituting those cam girls. Maybe he's like eating them.
Maybe he's I guess metaphorically he kind of is draining them of their life force. Think about it.
He's metaphorical Dracula.
Metaphorical Dracula.
Mm-hmm. And his brother is like his Renfield.
Weird little goblin guy that does his bidding. Dracula's probably.
What's the most popular adult Halloween candy?
What's the difference?
Like one was pulling kids, one was pulling adults. Like the pollster.
Oh, I don't know. Reese's?
M&M's.
That's not true either.
It's adults.
Yeah, but adults don't like. Nah, that's not. M&M's is like a default setting. That's like not even like.
Well, think about how many boring people are out there.
Yeah, okay. If your favorite candy is freaking M&M's, you have to have the personality of like a doorknob. Like what? How is your favorite M&M's? It's just regular chocolate that's like kind of crunchy. That's like. You can't say chocolate is your favorite candy. Everyone would think you're like super lame. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean M&M's?
What is the most popular kids Halloween candy?
I thought that was candy corn.
No, that's the least popular candy.
Oh, that's the least popular.
This is the most popular kids Halloween candy.
Oh, Starburst.
Reese's. You were
Oh,
right
so
the
I
first
was right
time.
the first time.
If you
That seems
you got a
backwards.
kid brain. That's how you
That
know.
seems backwards. Also, Reese's, honestly, you know what? I don't even think Reese's are like my favorite. They've gone downhill in quality so bad. Reese's used to be so good. Now they literally just taste like wax. Like that's it. X is here. Say nothing.
Walk around shirtless.
Yeah,
no, we're just doing
we're
trivia.
doing some trivia.
Just general
It's
Halloween.
about Halloween. Well, it's more just me arguing with this trivia one.
No.
Oh no, this
we're
is
just
Night of the
playing
Living
public
Dead,
domain
but it's in
horror
the public
films.
domain, so we're allowed to have it in the back.
I love it when we
Max,
respond to his questions.
Come tell us the meme.
Oh
was.
yeah, you saw a movie with Brendan Fraser in it. You got to do the
Yeah,
thing.
you gotta say the.
Oh, he
he's not
says
doing
no. He doesn't want to participate.
That's so sad. No more.
No Halloween fun.
I guess
for
he
Max.
doesn't need to know.
Yeah. What are you gonna do with that whale Halloween costume now? Anyway. Nope, I'm the whale every day. What's the top grossing horror movie of all time?
Top grossing of all time?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, no, because didn't Halloween come out over the summer?
Not the original. Some of them did.
Then probably Halloween.
It was the 2017 version of It.
Oh yeah, that makes.
Remember that movie was huge when it came out.
Yeah, that movie was really, really big.
It's not very
It's
good.
not really a horror movie. I mean, it's called a horror.
What's the name? You're not gonna know that one.
Well, that's the point.
What's the name of the fictional town in the movie The Lost Boys?
The Jerusalem. I don't know.
Santa Clara.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, there's the Santa Clarita Diet, which is that Netflix show about that girl who eats brains. Remember that show? I didn't see. They made 2 seasons, I think. Might have made more.
No, I think they made multiple. It's got Timothy Olyphant.
Wait, was it on Netflix or was it?
It was on Netflix. I think it was on. I know what
Was it
you're
on
thinking.
CW?
It was
no, that
on-
was iZombie. That's.
It was on like Freeform, and then it was canceled, and then Netflix picked it up after. that.
Yeah, I knew it was on somewhere.
Zombie was
can't
on
hear it.
CW. What historic weather event occurred on Halloween in 1991?
Hurricane.
No, like
the
the
actual
year.
the actual Halloween of that year.
No, the year.
I don't know, a hurricane, a storm.
The Halloween blizzard of 1991.
Okay, a blizzard.
Which dumped 3 feet of snow and 2 inches of ice across all of the across parts of the Midwest.
Well, if I'm sure I would know that if I was born.
Remember that year we went trick or treating, and it rained earlier that day, and that guy we went to his house was like, "Oh, I didn't get any candy. I thought you guys wouldn't be out because of the rain." And it was just the guy obviously being like super lazy and not thinking he had to
Didn't
participate.
someone give us like a stapler or something one time? Like we went and like did trick or treat and they didn't have any candy, so they just like gave us some stuff. No. I'm thinking of we went to the dude's house and they were like, "Oh, we don't have any candy. Hang on, I'll go get some." And then the dude got in his car and then like came back later with a bunch of candy, and then we went back to their house and they gave us a bunch of candy. That was the year that I dressed as a Zabuza from so.
Oh, I do remember that. The guy who liked anime too.
Yeah,
like,
that's why. Because that's why he did it. Is because we were dressed as anime characters.
That guy was
cool.
What is the name of the summer camp where Friday the 13th takes place?
It's like a Native American name, right? I don't know.
No.
Wakalahuka. I don't know.
Camp Crystal Lake.
That's totally the wrong thing. Totally the wrong thing.
In The Ring, how long do people have to? How long do people have to live before after watching the videotape?
7 days.
It's 7 days. You're correct. Good. What year was the first Saw movie released? By the way, we were to horror movie trivia. I ran out of decent
like
horror holiday trivia.
1998.
Okay, this is a layup for you. By the way, you were wrong. This is a layup for you. Which author of scary books holds the record for the most book-to-movie adaptations in the horror genre?
Book to
to movie.
Stein, I guess.
Come on. The most book-to-movie adaptations in the horror genre.
Stephen King?
It's Stephen King.
Oh, yeah.
Who's the only horror author anyone knows?
R.L. Stein. He made all the Goosebumps books. Hey, they made like each one of his
Those
books
were mostly
into an
TV
episode
shows,
of a
though.
TV
They
show.
just made a new one. Did you see that? It's on Disney Plus.
So that's 3 movies.
Did you watch it?
Apparently
it's pretty good.
There was Goosebumps 1 and 2, and then if there's another one, that's 3. How many Stephen King got? Like 12?
Like 40.
He's getting close. He's probably got the second most.
1922's Nosferatu is an unofficial adaptation of which book? That's true. It was they made it without the consent of the author. I think he was dead. The author's family, and then they got sued, and the movie was destroyed. And now it only exists from like scatterings picked up over the years.
That's real dumb.
Who directed 1963's The Birds?
Alfred Hitchcock.
That's true. Okay, another layup for you. What is the name of the killer in the Saw franchise?
Jigsaw.
Yeah, it's Jigsaw.
The real Saw was the friends we made along the way.
Nah.
Saw X is coming out.
It already came out.
Saw X is already out.
He doesn't have a thumb. He does in Wes Craven's New Nightmare, but not in the original 6 film.
Has he got a hole in his middle? It's not. I don't think it's for grabbing things.
No,
he's got a
he
glove
was-
with a Michael Myers fingers, or not? Who was the guy? Freddy Krueger fingers.
In which state does 1968's Night of the Living Dead take place?
I don't know. It looks kind of like Louisiana. So
Pennsylvania.
yeah, that's basically the same.
All right, last one. Who played Frankenstein's monster in Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, and Son of Frankenstein?
I have absolutely no idea.
Boris Karloff.
I have not seen any of those movies, nor do I know anyone who's in any of those movies.
Max, I literally Googled
just
trivia
Googled
questions. All right.
All right, let's do the tier list now.
You want to
'cause,
do? Okay.
This is not
Here's
probably not
Here's
interesting.
the Halloween. I can't see the thing because the leaves.
Just full screen it.
How do you do that?
Click the box that makes it full screen.
I couldn't see
What
the
do you
box.
mean?
Okay. So here's our tier list.
Okay, you can't see.
We have
super
5
well, but
skills.
You know how it works.
We got 5 skills. So we have maximum Halloween, scary but not Halloween-y. Halloween in terms of like atmosphere and vibe. For
Wait,
kids,
okay, so are you sorting them into categories or are we ranking them? Because that's different.
kind of both. You're kind of ranking them in the tier, but we're sorting them into categories.
You can't do both. It's either one. It's either we're ranking them by how good they are, or we're sorting them into categories.
All right, fine. I'll just rank them how good they are.
Yeah,
Is that better?
That makes way more sense. Yeah, but it's like not a
Alright, we
it's
got
not a
S.
horror movie.
We got B.
Max is talking about how kids movies
D,
are
and
often
we have
construed as bad, but could be good
F.
kids movies. I think.
Okay, first up. By the way, we're just gonna put all the movies we haven't seen in the D tier. All right.
Why would we just leave them down there? Don't even.
Oh,
rank
that's
them.
true. I forgot that's a thing. It's so because it's hard to keep track of which.
All
ones.
right. First up
the
is
2019 or 18 animated Addams Family film.
Oh boy. This
This
was Illumination, right? I think
this was MGM's like low budget animation company.
Yeah, this movie's real bad. I'm gonna go D tier on that.
Yeah,
bad boy.
me too. This one's not.
It's
It's
not
ugly.
F tier because, like, for little kids, I'm sure it's fun, but
It's
like,
not super. It's not spooky enough. It's too like. Yeah, the animation's not good. Yeah. The 1990s Addams Family
that movie slaps. That's S tier. I think,
S, or
actually.
do you want to put it like high A?
No, I like it S tier.
Oh wait, did I
it S
put
tier.
S and then B?
I don't know because I can't. Yes, you did.
Okay.
C.
Well, we're just gonna do A at the top.
Just to put
I
it.
feel
Just
like there
add
should
another
be a D.
tier.
I
Just
feel-
add another
You
tier.
can't add another tier.
Yes, you can.
How do I do that?
It's over there somewhere. You can't see it because the leaves. Put it on your screen and then do it. Add a row. Yeah,
Add a row above. Here we
There you go. Okay.
Right.
Perfect.
I'm so good at this.
Now we can put an S tier.
We've
up
done
there.
several tier lists.
You had one
and
that
I
just said
still
new?
don't know how to use this website.
BC? What are you typing right
I
now?
can't type.
Why not?
I don't have basic computer science skills.
But you've played keyboard video
Here we
game
go.
before.
So this is going in D. And
Yes,
then
D tier for that.
This is going. I think this
That's
should go in
going-
A.
I like S tier for Addams Family's great.
I
I
don't.
love
Yeah,
Addams
you're
Family.
right. I don't know how much better we're gonna get than this.
Yeah, in terms of Halloween movies, the Addams
Okay.
Family is
Adam's
awesome.
Family Values
Well, basically the
also
same.
pretty solid, but a Thanksgiving movie.
Yeah, so I think it's got to go A tier.
I think it's got to
'cause
go A or B.
It's not really a Halloween.
I'm gonna
movie.
put it in B. For
But Addams Family is always a
be
vibe.
watching at Thanksgiving. I looked up a tier list.
This is not our.
I
list
only
of
have so
movies.
much time.
All right, hit us with the next one.
The Amityville Horror
We
remake.
just talked about that. I've never heard of that.
F.
Okay, I'll just refer to your judgment on that.
Army of Darkness.
You like that movie?
I
have not
love
seen
this
it.
one. I want to put this one.
But it's not a Halloween movie though.
It's not, also not a horror movie.
I think probably A tier then,
Okay.
because
I'll
it's not
compromise.
Halloween really related. other than
Beetlejuice?
skeletons existing.
I feel like we have to put it in S, but also everyone who talks about Beetlejuice is really annoying.
Yeah, put it in A tier because they're annoying.
Yeah, it's going below. Army
Also,
of
the
Darkness.
name. I still hate
Bite
the
me.
name. Why is he named after a star that's really far away? That doesn't even make any sense.
It's a weird, funny name. Why his name? All right, Creature of the Black Lagoon.
I have not seen that. What is the? What
Uh,
is that? Is that the
that's
prequel?
an-
Is that the prequel to that Fish Man movie? Remember that movie that won an Oscar?
I think we got to put this one in B.
Yeah, Sound of
Sound
Water.
of Water. Yeah, the famous
Is
Sounds
that-
of
is-
Water.
what was it called?
It was called The Shape of Water.
Shape of Water. That's the Shape of Water prequel.
Okay. Blair Witch Project. Now,
It's again not really a
I
Halloween
know there are
movie.
people who don't like this movie, and I get it. I really like Blair Witch
Oh,
Project.
I like the idea of Blair Witch Project more than I like the actual movie.
It's a movie that is called Blair Witch, and it is not about a Blair Witch.
Okay, no. I like the way it was marketed, especially for the time period. That is super cool. It's a super fun story.
Yeah.
The movie itself is so boring and it sucks. And it's
I can,
really
yeah, I
bad.
can kind of understand that, but
And the ending is worse than Knights of the Holy Grail. It just
The
like,
ending is not
randomly
good.
stops.
That's because they didn't know how to end it. But like,
yeah, that's stupid.
I have long held the opinion that this movie is not about a spooky witch. It's about how scary it is to be lost in the woods.
It's just three random people
And that's
wandering around
pretty
in the
scary.
woods
It's
for like
gonna
an
go.
hour.
I'll put it in C because I know you probably don't like it.
Yeah, it's
Or do you
not-
think B? Low B, or
B is fine.
I'll put it in
again
low
because I
B.
like the story around it. I don't really like the movie that much, but the story's fun.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers, classic,
That's the
B
movie that
movie.
the scrolls are based on.
parodied
That
many times.
I've not seen it.
Max
We'll
put it in.
classic.
We'll put it in. We'll put it in
How have you
B.
never heard of that?
You've definitely heard of it, and you've definitely seen like riffs
you know
on
the
it.
Ben 10 movie where the little robots take over the town. It's one of the live action ones. You've seen it. Definitely.
Cabin in the Woods.
I have not seen this.
I'm I'm gonna put it in S.
See, I know that Kilo's gonna watch this and that she's seen all these because she's a big horror movie fan. I do not know any of these movies.
Carrie's got to go in A.
Okay, is that about Carrie Fisher?
No, that's about a psychic.
Wait, is that the one where the blood sprays on the ceiling?
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen that scene before.
Oops.
Because it's been referenced like to death.
Casper the Friendly Ghost.
F tier. I hate Casper.
F or D?
I hate Casper. Casper sucks. Conceptually, he's so lame.
Yeah.
Imagine becoming a ghost just to like go around and be a baby for no.
Oh, you want to do Boo? Medea Halloween?
That's S tier. That's Ghost of That is S tier. I've seen
D.
My prime.
Have you actually seen it?
My only exposure to Medea is through like parodies in the Boondocks. I've never seen Medea.
Let's put Medea.
top of the
Chopping Mall.
Shopping Mall. I remember
movie ever made.
that was on that
S.
was on Film or Fake last year.
Was it actually?
Or it was either last year or the year before last year. It was on Film or Fake before that.
Tim Burton's Corpse Bride.
That movie's got cool animation, so
C.
Yeah.
C for cool animation.
C for cool animation. I think that's literally where we put it last time. I think we did this last year.
I don't think we did. I don't remember doing it.
Donnie Darko.
Donnie Darko? Is
I
that
know-
really even like a horror movie?
Definitely not a Halloween movie.
It's definitely not a Halloween
But it
movie.
is good though, so put it A tier.
I'll put him at bottom of A just because like that's not a movie you watch.
But
at
it's a
Halloween.
really good movie,
Yeah.
so yeah, we can't really. That's
Coraline.
rough. I hate.
F tier.
You hate. I don't like it
Bottom of it.
particularly.
So okay, I think the concept and the story is really cool, and even the execution is like super well done. I just hate the fan base. The fan base just won't shut up. Just stop telling me about Coraline. I don't care. Max is just.
It's
stealing the
there's
whole
more at the
bucket.
bottom, but I
Just
pour the skills on
do
top.
some swishing around.
I just recently saw Coraline for the first time recently. It's pretty interesting for the first.
C for cool animation.
It's pretty cool for the first half, and then the second half kicks in, and it's just her like finding balls in a field for like 30 minutes.
Well, that sounds super cool.
And it's really boring and dull. DreamWorks Spooky Stories 1 and 2.
Those are
those are
actually
actually
kind of good. Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie.
Oh
Those
my
are actually
God.
pretty good.
I knew you were gonna say
I think
it.
A tier, honestly. Like no, for real.
Both
Like
of
those are
I'm-
actually
I'm-
solid.
Yeah, I'm being.
Bro, how many times have we seen those? Like probably
too
like
many, too many times.
every year Nickelodeon just airs those over and over and over and
Yeah,
over.
Netflix.
It's just a tradition. Okay, the funny thing is, we don't even really like or like have a connection.
You liked Monsters
with
vs.
any
Aliens.
of the properties.
You
involved.
liked Monsters vs. Aliens.
when it came out because I was like, whoa, the big things are smashing.
And I like Shrek.
But our family does not have a deep connection to those properties. But for some reason, these two like Halloween specials we watch like every year.
I think the second one is worse. Like the carrots.
The carrots is really
is
annoying.
worse
and dumb.
than the pumpkins one.
I agree. Put it B tier.
B, yeah.
B tier for
2
dumb
is
carrots.
going in B, and we're gonna put it in front of Creature of the Black Lagoon.
Sure. I haven't even seen Creature from the Black Lagoon. How good can it be if I haven't seen it? Think about that.
Ernest Scared Stupid.
Oh, it's got Ernest in it. S tier immediately.
Number 1. Should we put it at number 1?
Yeah, put Ernest number 1.
Number 1. Ernest Scared Stupid.
Ernest, you know about Ernest, Max? He's like an advertising character. Like Flo from Progressive. He's like an advertising mascot that got so popular they started making movies about like just the character from the ad. It'd be like if Flo started getting her own movies that were completely unrelated to. Yeah, Ernest is great.
Evil Dead. The Evil Dead, the original one.
I have not seen it.
What happened? Where'd it go? Oh,
It's in D tier right now.
Okay. It is pretty mid. It's not great. It's really grimy. It's kind of fun.
Pretty much every. Let's buy 3
It-
million gallons of.
This one is just the straight up horror one. Like this one has none of the comedy that the next ones do.
Just throw it in C tier then.
I'm gonna put it in front of Corpse Bride. I think though.
Okay,
I think
sure.
it's top of C. And then Evil Dead 2. That's at least gotta
Is it
be it.
different.
Evil Dead 2 is great.
Oh, I know that that's the chainsaw guy, right?
It's basically a remake of the first one, except for it's got a higher budget. There's more actors in it, and it's way more crazy.
He's
and
got
fun.
a chainsaw hand.
And that's the one where they started doing comedy.
He's got a chainsaw for a hand.
Final Destination.
Didn't they make like a bajillion million of those?
Yes, D. Yeah,
D
who
tier.
gives a crap about Final
I
Destination?
hate Frankenweenie. I hate the way it looks.
Franken, should we put it in the cool?
And I hate how
animation, too?
annoying. Oh my! Remember the ads for it? Remember the ads for it? Oh my God! Disney Channel every
Alright,
2
I'm sorry,
seconds.
Frankenweenie.
Nah, screw you, Frankenweenie.
It's going in front of Casper.
That movie is so disgusting.
That movie is
so
is
vile.
like Pet Cemetery, but if it was stupid and dumb. It's like it's supposed to be wholesome, but it's just awful. I just hate looking at it. I just hate looking at it.
No kid.
No, not especially if it's like a rotting corpse. Like that would just be disgusting. Imagine how bad that dog would smell. Sorry if any of you guys have an emotional connection to Frankenweenie.
Max hates you personally.
Max is going to turn your dog into Frankenweenie. Why science class? Are you learning about like necromancy?
Resurrecting dead dogs.
It's got electric.
Yeah, sure, that's reasonable enough.
All right, what's
The original Friday the 13th.
Have I seen that movie?
See, boring as crap.
Okay, sure. Yeah, okay.
Ghostbusters S.
Yeah, Ghostbusters freaking rules.
I got the poster on the wall.
I'm not even gonna lie.
It's going above Ernest.
Ghostbusters is a banger. It's probably the best Halloween movie.
Ghostbusters 2.
Not as good.
C.
Bottom of C.
I don't.
Bottom of C.
I would rather watch
Friday the
Ghostbusters 2 than Friday the 13th.
I don't mind Ghostbusters 2 if I'm being honest, everybody.
It's just really dumb, and the villain's really dumb, and everything about it's kind of stupid.
All right, I'll put it in C.
All right, what's up next?
Goosebumps, the 2015 Goosebumps.
Did
We
you
have
see
seen this
that?
one. We've all seen this.
When did I see it?
You definitely saw. You just probably don't remember it.
I
Jack
don't think
Black
I've
plays
seen
R.L.
this.
Stein.
No, I haven't seen. No, you guys went to see it, but I wasn't there. I was like hanging out with my friends or something.
All right.
I remember that you guys saw it.
You
and I
go in.
didn't.
It's
Not bad.
it's going in D.
It's not, but
It's going in D. The sequel is actually better.
I thought everyone hated the sequel.
Halloween 2018.
I think I have seen that.
This is the only one you've seen.
Yeah, that one is...
I'm gonna put that one on top of B. It's got good. I
okay.
mean, it's got pretty good Halloween vibes.
I like the part when
and
he
it's the best of those three.
And he takes the virgin guy and puts him on the fence.
Mm-hmm.
And he...
Yeah.
Because the guy keeps going, why
keeps
won't anyone
harassing
have
the
sex
Laker,
with
yeah.
me? And then he gets scared.
John Carpenter's classic Halloween. That's gotta be S.
Sure. It just the poster alone, honestly, puts it in the top.
And if we're ranking posters, that's
Probably the best poster of all.
It
of
might
them.
be. Donnie Darko's got a good one.
Ernest does not have the best
Ernest has
poster.
a best. This is
What?
Great. Army of Darkness poster. That is a good poster.
That is a good poster, but it's not very Halloween-y.
Friday the 13th. That's an iconic poster right there.
No,
The shot, the silhouette in the camp. Yeah.
have never even seen that poster before.
Should we rank Halloween Town?
What on earth is Halloween Town?
I have seen that.
That looks like Troll 2.
It's a Disney Channel
Oh,
thing.
it's straight.
Have you seen it?
It's
Okay, for some reason, Max has seen every
so-
single, like, C-list Disney Channel original film.
Imagine if you got a bunch of actors.
He said-
and they're all
He's
like,
describing a thing to us and we
Give
can't
me
hear
They
it.
can hear you.
Give me my turn.
Take the mic.
Imagine you got a bunch of actors, okay? But their personalities and acting skills are that of mashed potatoes, okay? And then you gave them, quite frankly, the most boring script possible. And then added a pumpkin in there. That's
What's
the
movie about?
I honestly don't remember. It was so boring.
Nothing, apparently.
Nothing
All right,
happened.
I got the voice memos going, so we're at least
Nothing
gonna get
happened.
some Max audio. All right. What's next? Hocus Pocus.
Mid.
I hate
Overhyped.
Hocus Pocus.
It is
honestly
way
hate
overhyped.
It's
That is
so
true.
bad. It's
think-
actually awful.
I think that actually is the epitome of millennial.
Okay, no, you know what?
D.
Here's
It's
why-
going below the
Here's why I-
Goosebumps.
No, I'd
movie.
rather watch Adam's Family.
Here's why I
Okay.
have
I don't
a
know about
problem
that.
with this
I don't
movie.
think
Okay.
I
I
would
do know about that.
This movie was awful. It was terrible. It like destroyed Disney's live action movies for like a good long while.
Dude, and all the millennial
Hang on.
women are like obsessed.
And it was really, really bad. But for some reason, all of the millennial children gobbled it up. I guess that every other like Halloween movie was just like banished and not allowed to be seen for like a solid like 5 years when all these children developed a strong emotional connection to this. And it led to it getting like a reboot that was also terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
new
Did that
movie.
actually come out?
Yeah, it did. like 2 years ago.
It got a reboot based off of off of its reputation alone, which was already bad. I don't understand it. Terrible, bad. Kill it.
Hereditary. I mean, it's good.
Oh, I saw that movie.
It's not really a Halloween movie. Like, it's a horror movie.
Isn't that
Honestly,
the one where they go,
wait, that's
it's your grandma, but it's not your grandma?
Wait, that's the one that we watched, and I was like messing around with the VR thing, right? And we went to go see a movie afterward.
No.
We did not see this.
Yeah, no, because you were watching it, and then I walked in.
No, I wasn't watching this. I'll watch this later.
No, this was a while. This was last Halloween.
No.
This was a while
It was
ago.
not this one. It's good. I'm gonna put it in A.
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I'm gonna put it in.
I've not seen a lot of these movies. I've not seen like
A House with a Clock in Its Walls. You've seen this one?
I have seen that one.
Oh, this movie is painful to watch. This movie is. Oh my god, this movie's so bad.
Okay,
it's not.
I know you have opinions. I'm gonna put it next to the other Jack Black Halloween movie.
It's better than.
Okay, you know what? I do have fond memories of this movie because when I saw it like I think the night of like one of the homecomings, and so like I saw it with a girl that I had a crush on, obviously, because that's the whole point of homecoming, right? So it gave me many opportunities to constantly bash the movie, and they thought it was funny. So I have fond memories of trashing this movie relentlessly. But this movie is unbearable. It is actually terrible. I think Jack Black referred to it as
wasn't that bad.
I can't a phallus with a pin in its balls.
It wasn't that bad.
Anyway,
It was.
moving on. This movie's terrible.
It Follows. Great.
I don't remember.
Good one. That
Don't
one.
know what that is.
Don't know what that is.
That's a good one. That's going on about Halloween spooky
Okay,
stories.
sure.
Put it for Doc.
Go right on ahead.
Yeah.
You do that.
The 90s It miniseries.
I like it when the clown goes,
Yeah, I can't.
Remember
put
when the
this in.
balloons come out of the refrigerator?
I'll have a hard time putting this in anything above D. If
But he
I'm
goes,
being honest. Does it go above A House with a Clock in Its Walls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Tim Curry alone?
Because of its.
I think it's going top of D.
Meme value alone, there are still memes from this movie. Like today, still memes being used from this. Have you ever seen a House with a Clock in Its Walls meme in
That's
your life?
true. I've never heard
Other
anyone
than that
talk
one
about that
time that
movie
Jack-
other than you.
Other than Jack Black occasionally like making fun of it.
Wait,
I've never heard of
what was
anyone
that
making
movie
fun.
that you were watching? We started watching Zombieland afterward. And it was like the one where they're in the house and it's like there's like they go in the basement and then the mom gets like freaking possessed or something.
I don't remember.
And they're like and the ghost goes out.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
It
The other,
the
pretty good,
2017
actually.
It.
I don't know. I've heard it's good.
the
I'm gonna
first
put it in B.
it was much
Yeah.
better than the second one.
It might be in
honestly.
C, honestly. I'm
I
gonna put it
don't
in
I don't
C.
think it's C.
I don't really like it.
I think it's a
I think it's
decent
way
movie.
too long.
It's only 2 hours.
Dude, I'd put it
That's
in,
way too
I'd put
long.
it in B. I'd put it in B.
I'm gonna put it in B. I'm gonna put it.
Spooky
You know what?
Do I
think-
put it
Dude,
above
I
or
think
below Treeworks Spooky Stories
Dude, I think
Volume
it's
2?
above Spooky Stories.
This is the true debate of our
That's the
time.
true-
Dude, I think
Yes.
the first that
We
one was
put
actually
I would-
Friday the 13th, The Evil Dead,
Okay,
and Hocus
genuinely,
Pocus below.
real talk, I would.
Stories
It's not that I would rather watch Spooky Stories 2 than it. I think it's just more likely that I would watch Spooky Stories 2 than it. Like, Spooky Stories, I can sit down and play Minecraft for a little bit. That's on in the background. I had a good time. I'm not doing that with it. I'm not watching it. I'm not sitting down for 2 hours to watch that. No way.
I think It one's actually a decent movie.
All right.
They left out the most crucial part
Classic.
of the book.
All-time classic.
Classic.
Halloween tradition.
Top of,
Gotta
better
be
than
top.
Ernest.
It's a great pumpkin, Charlie
Gotta
Brown.
be
frankly
the
better
top.
than Ernest.
Gotta
honestly,
be top.
Quite
that-
frankly,
this
I
is-
think it's below Ghost. Well,
I can't. Well, Ghostbusters won't.
it's a
there it goes.
classic.
Yeah,
like,
that defines
It's
that
so
is
much
Halloween.
classic.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that defines Halloween.
Yeah.
That
It isn't
can't be
Halloween
number
till you watch that.
Jeepers Creepers F, who was directed by a sex criminal.
Don't know what
that is.
That has nothing to do with the movie.
Midsummer. This one I know
Oh my
you've seen.
gosh, I hate Midsummer.
Yeah, that one makes me kind of mad.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I hate how much people like it. Because it's really
It can't
bad.
possibly be that good.
It's so, like, the themes are bad. The message is not good. Like, actually, okay, the message is fine. The way they try to explain it is terrible. Horrible. No good.
Very bad day.
No good at all. My favorite part is when the man gets, like, sex crimed, and then they all blame him for like cheating on his girlfriend.
Does it go?
And then they burn him alive.
Are you going
for
in
it.
F or are you going in D?
Bottom of
F. I hate Midsommar.
Okay, I'm gonna put it.
Okay, you know, actually,
I think it's-
bottom of D.
Okay, but this
bottom of D because the opening's kind of cool.
It
The
must be.
opening's a little cool,
It's
actually.
probably a little bit better than
When the
Halloween
old guy
Town.
jumps off
That-
the...
It's probably a little
okay.
bit better.
Yeah,
than
all right.
When that old guy jumps off the cliff and then they smash him with the hammers, I was like, whoa.
If my
And then
friend
after that,
who's
I
a
went
big
down.
Ari Aster fan ever sees this, he's gonna get real mad at
Nah,
me.
screw that guy's dumb. That guy's dumb if he likes that.
Monster House.
I'm really going in up Midsommar here.
Is that the animated
This
one?
is the animated
F
one.
tier. I hate
F?
Monster. I hate Monster House so much.
really don't like
It
the
is
animation.
really
so,
ugly.
It's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad, and it doesn't make any sense, and it's awful, and it's terrible, and the animation's awful, and it makes me want to puke, and it's bad.
Above or below Frankenweenie?
Bottom, below Jeepers Creepers.
Oh, okay.
I
No,
think it's,
it
quite
can't.
frankly, I think
It's bad. No, it's awful.
I'd rather watch that than Frankenweenie.
But no, bottom.
Okay, no,
Outta
Max
here.
is right. Like, come
Frankenweenie
on.
genuinely makes me want to kill myself.
So does Monster.
I
Monster
want-
House is worse.
If you put on Frankenweenie and strap me to a chair, I will bust out of the straps using straight adrenaline testosterone, manifest a gun, and shoot myself. Okay.
Why would you shoot yourself if you could escape?
Because I hate it so much, I couldn't buy
He doesn't want to live in a world where it exists.
That seems flawed.
By the time I run out of the room, I would have already like.
All right, what's
seen
the
them.
A
next
Nightmare
movie?
on Elm Street. Great.
Iconic poster.
Haven't seen.
Great poster.
That's the
Great
one with
villain.
that's the one with Eddie Scissorfingers.
I mean, what a great premise, that movie.
That's Eddie Scissorfingers, right?
That's right. That's Eddie Scissorfingers. But like the creativity to
What
come up
even
with
is
like a
the
dream
premise?
serial killer. That's great.
I
That's going.
I don't even think I really. Oh wait, no,
That's going
the
right
one
there.
with,
That's
That's the one
Almost
with
top
Eddie.
A.
That's the one with Eddie Cougar, right?
Yeah. Over the Garden Wall. Did you ever watch that?
I
That's
have
a
not, but I
Halloween
do mean
movie?
to. I do intend
Me
to watch
neither.
this. I just have not.
Yeah.
I know
We
it's
need to get to
good.
that
It's
one.
on my list.
Everyone's
I
always
just
talking
haven't
about
done
it.
And I'm a big fan of like animation stuff too, so it's a real shame I haven't seen it. but I
Paranormal
plan to.
Activity, the original one.
That movie's so stupid. Oh my god, that
D or
movie's so
C?
boring.
I have not seen
D,
it.
bottom of D. That movie's so
Okay,
freaking boring.
what'd you
Oh
say?
my god.
In front or
That's
behind
probably in
Final
front of
Destination.
Midsommar.
Okay, it's better than Midsommar because I hate
Okay,
Midsommar so much.
ab-
but
above cartoon Addams Family.
sure, why not?
Above
I
Hocus
mean,
Pocus.
I think.
Nah, it's worse than
I
Hocus
think
Pocus.
cartoons.
Because at least in Hocus Pocus, things happen.
I think Adam's Family should.
That
be
movie is
behind
literally
Final Destination.
2 hours of like an empty bedroom and like sheets getting pulled around.
Paranormal
That is
trash.
so lame. You gotta be kidding me.
Paranorman.
Actually, I
Paranormal.
put it above.
I'm gonna put it in C
Put
for
it bottom
cool
of D.
animation.
Bottom
It's
of D.
I put it. It's to me, it's tied exactly with Coraline. C for cool animation.
Yeah.
But like, Paranormal is just so in the marketing. I hated the marketing. The marketing was the most annoying thing on earth.
I hate the way all of those movies look. The animation just
I like the
gross.
work that goes into the animation for those movies. I think is extremely commendable, and it's incredible.
Yeah, I just hate
But
it.
the art style that they choose to pursue in most of their projects, I personally am not attracted to. So that's my thoughts on that.
The
Poultry guy, that's got to go A tier because we made a parody.
That's
of it
true.
one time.
Before we even saw it.
Before we ever saw the
I'm gonna-
movie,
behind Beetlejuice.
before we even had a podcast, before Brian's
the ancient
life,
times before we had a podcast.
in the before times, we had a leap pad, and most of you,
and ambition.
No,
most
we
of you
had
probably
iPad.
don't know what leap
We
pad
had
is.
iPad.
No, we didn't have the
No, we
iPad.
didn't.
Not yet.
No,
we
not
did.
at this.
Yeah, we did.
No, we didn't have the iPad until we moved into the house we were in after that. Yeah, but we didn't use it to film this.
I think we did.
No, we used the leap
We
pad.
did
to
not
film.
use the
Yes, we
leap
did.
pad. No, we didn't.
The original Crazy
The
Adventures.
OG version.
The original Crazy Adventures of Leopard.
The one in the
and,
rent house?
Yes.
That was
And
iPad.
Poultry Guy
That
were
was
both
iPad.
filmed on the leap pad.
Dude, that was iPad.
It was not, because we don't have it anymore, because it was on the leap pad and we gave it to our cousin.
Shoot. Dude, I want that back.
Well, it's probably been
It's
deleted.
still up
I
on
know,
YouTube.
but I need to experience
Poultry
some
Guy
of
is still on YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I need to experience some of the things.
Okay,
that
so
were
we
on
made a
that.
movie
I would link
called
it in the
Poultry
description,
Guy.
but I don't want anyone to find it.
It's actually still a little bit funny.
It's not.
It is. So, okay,
Can we move
okay.
on, please?
We had a lot of stuffed animals, and we had like...
cut the Spurs a separate video.
No, this is good stuff. We had lore for each one. And there was
Dude,
this
I
one
wanna
named
go to
Leopard who was just chronically stupid, and that was basically his old character. But he, like, orders a pizza, and then the guy shows up. Or, what is he? Does he order a pizza?
He orders chicken.
He orders chicken from the poultry guy. And the poultry guy shows up,
He had to take
and
his
he
sleeping
gets
gummies down.
confused because he gets the words poultry guy and poltergeist mixed up, and he thinks he's being haunted, and so he murders the chicken delivery man, creating an actual poltergeist that kills him, which is it's just great. It's awesome. It's so good.
It's not. All right, Psycho.
Let's speed it up, guys.
That's the not really a Halloween movie
I
at
haven't
all.
seen it.
S.
Okay.
Dude,
Haven't
there's
seen
no
it.
way it's an S tier.
It is.
It does not encompass the Halloween.
But he goes.
Yeah. Resident Evil, one of them. They're all bad. They're all the same.
They're all the
Going
same
at F.
movie. F tier. F tier for that. Actually, wait. She's kind of hot though. Should we bump it up a tier?
Well, she's hotter than she's hotter than everyone in Monster House.
Okay, so we got to put it above.
she's
Monster
the top
House.
of F. Ringu, the original The Ring.
haven't
What on earth
seen
is
it.
Oh, Ringu.
Yeah.
I don't know. Put it like mid. It's like it's mid. Put it B, middle of B.
Cool. Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I have not seen Rocky
neither.
Horror Picture Show. As much as I know, I am supposed to because everyone has seen it.
I'm sorry, we didn't watch it.
I'm sorry. I wasn't gay in high school.
I've seen the play of it in the movie Perks of Being a Wallflower. So,
That's true. I've
based
seen
on that, I think I can put this in solid D tier.
Scary movie. I'm gonna
I
put
think
it.
that's A. Well,
I'm gonna put
Original scary movies actually.
I think
Okay,
that's B.
but it
That's
also
actually funny.
created like an entire subgenre of
but
absolute
that's not
turds.
its
But that's
fault,
not.
though.
Well, it's a little
It
bit.
is entirely its fault.
Yeah,
But they didn't know that was going to happen when they made this.
But they made the next ones.
But they didn't know that they were going
Yeah,
to do
but
that.
Tucker,
All right,
Halloween
I'll
isn't
put it
bad
in
because
B.
the most
I'll
recent
put it in
Halloween
B.
You
was
don't
bad.
charge someone who's done one murder with serial murder. They've only done one murder.
Just because.
The Scooby-Doo live action Scooby-Doos.
I'd say
Velma
Velma is not on there.
is hot. So
Oh.
put it in.
That's true. Linda
D-
Cardellini.
D tier.
I say it's also
the
a
movie's
classic.
really
Written by
bad.
James Gunn. Those movies.
That one guy,
I know they're on
Shaggy.
Cartoon
It's going
Network
behind the
sometimes.
spooky stories.
Shaggy-
Yeah,
He's
that
in it.
sounds about right. Scooby Doo 2's basically
They're
the
the
exact
same,
same.
yeah.
Yeah, throw that in the exact same spot. Wait, no, it looks a little bit worse though because they got a budget decrease, so bump it down.
It's
one.
It's
whatever.
behind it. It's
The original Scream.
I haven't seen it.
Real good. Great movie. Fun time.
Have not. Seen
Should check that one
Yeah,
out. That's
movie.
going right above Beetlejuice.
I think
I've
I've
seen
it, but I don't-
5 and 6.
Shaun of the Dead. Another good one. Funny.
I
Good
know it's
comedy.
What is
good.
that?
Have not seen it. Shaun of the Dead.
Also going in A.
What
I'm
is
gonna
that?
put it. That's funnier than Beetlejuice. If we're all being honest with ourselves. Let's be real here.
Wait, then why'd you put it in?
Based on seeing neither of those movies, it's probably better than Beetlejuice.
What about Scoob?
That's
F.
not a Halloween movie at all.
F.
That's not even
You know what, F-
related.
they are-
F. You know what? F for trying to make Scooby Doo like a
No, but that's
superhero
not even-
franchise
that shouldn't
property.
even- no, that
Yeah.
shouldn't even be on.
Why? Just why?
That shouldn't be on here though. That's not even Halloween related whatsoever.
is that?
Treehouse of Horror, The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror.
Oh, I've seen like a
at
lot
peak,
of those.
real
like,
good.
idea-
At bad, very bad.
No,
The like
actually-
idea of all those
I think they're all
amalgamated
just,
into one.
there's like
concept.
36. You're not
Yeah,
gonna
that's
rank
what I'm
them
saying.
all.
Like,
No,
what-
there's
no,
more than 36, dude.
Put it with Scary Stories 1.
Dude, they made so many.
No, it's like the same,
You
right?
put that in A tier.
Oh shoot. Okay.
I've
Put
watched
it,
almost.
put it in front of Spooky
I don't
Stories.
know. I'm
2.
putting it next to Spooky Stories 1.
I've watched
I mean,
a lot of
they're
The
basically
Simpsons.
those two things are in the same place in my brain.
After about 4 seasons of The Simpsons, I got annoyed with those. And I've
Sleepy
seen like, most of
Hollow,
The Simpsons.
the Johnny Depp Tim Burton one.
Dude, that
Well,
movie's
Johnny Depp is in
so
it, so
boring.
pretty boring.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
Sleepy Hollow, low key, not a great.
Also,
is
a
a movie-
terrible adaptation of
Okay,
Sleepy Hollow.
That is a movie our mom would
Hot
like.
take.
In
She
front
does
of
like
Corpse
it.
Bride.
Hot
No, behind
take.
Corpse Bride.
Sleepy Hollow is not a good story.
No, it's not.
It
It's
is-
so boring.
It was spooky for the time because the idea of a scary thing existing was spooky at the time. But today, in 2023, we've been telling spooky stories forever. That's like the first scary story.
Dude,
Now,
if you watch The
the
Conjuring and
iconography,
watch that,
immortal, classic. The Headless Horseman, banger. But everything else about that story, incredibly dumb. Very bad.
Signs.
Signs is extremely stupid, and I know Morgan loves it, but that is the dumbest movie ever. Why would you, as aliens, invade a planet that is 70% acid? Why would you do that?
They leave immediately because they discover that.
You're telling me
You guys feel it.
they have god alien space teleportation technology, and by the way, us with our satellites, we can read like the makeup of planets from 1 billion miles away, but they couldn't be like, oh yeah, that planet's like 1 billion% acid, let's not go here.
Okay. D.
Nah, F tier. F tier.
It's going
It's
D.
so
It's
dumb.
not gonna go to
the dialogue's
F.
awful.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I don't know.
S.
S?
S.
Put it
For Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Put
Yup.
it like
It's
top
like
of it.
barely real.
No, it's really good. The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad,
Way,
classic Disney.
way better.
Holy smokes.
Freaking
Oh, that's gotta go in
S
A,
tier.
right? That's gotta go in
S tier.
S.
S tier.
I'd sell my
I know I
left nut
just
to
spent
see
a
that
million
for the
minutes
first time.
trashing it, but that is why the Headless Horseman is such an iconic guy.
Sure.
That's the one.
The Conjuring 1.
Wow, we're just gonna skip the Blob. Okay?
Oh, you want to do the Blob?
Wow, I've never
Wait,
seen
what's the
the Blob.
Blob?
What on earth is the Blob?
You got anything
Wait.
to say about Rosemary's
Let me
Baby?
see if I've seen any of
Actually,
these.
no.
You've seen some of these probably on here.
Piranha 3D? How could we have skipped Piranha
The
3D?
Craft.
What's the Craft?
Never seen it. The Exorcist.
That's
S.
gotta be S.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, the original one.
Not the new one.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
gotta
no,
be.
I know.
It's like
Yeah,
it
that's-
redefined
That's
horror.
either that's like that's
It like changed movies.
this is like the holy trinity right
That's
here.
like this. This is gonna sound stupid, but that's like the Star Wars of horror movies.
The Fog.
Does that say faculty?
Yeah, the Faculty.
Fog? What was this? A spooky cloud?
Oh my gosh!
It was
Is
in
it
fact
like
a spooky
Is it
cloud.
like the movie Ghost, but she doesn't have sex with the spooky
Oh
Oh
cloud?
my gosh, I'm getting damp!
The Lighthouse?
Oh, don't they have like incest in that movie? Or something?
No.
8 tier! Boom, baby!
I
My
don't
favorite.
know.
I'm
I've
gonna
heard
put
it.
it
I've heard
above
it was
It
good,
Follows.
but it's not a
Um,
classic though.
It's pretty good though.
It's not like a classic. It's not
The
Halloween.
Mummy, the
Mummy.
Brendan Fraser.
Oh, the original one's
one.
got to be like.
I need
Gotta
to
be
know
up there.
But
Probably-
it's not even like a spooky
one
movie.
thing right
Oh, he
now.
did it! It's not even. But it's
Probably
not like
B tier.
it's not spooky. It's like an action movie.
Yeah, but it's like classic.
All right, I'll put it above Spooky Stories too.
Tucker, are you stupid? The title is Mummy, idiot.
But they like fight.
Shut up.
They like
Shut up.
fight.
Kill yourself.
Whoa, relax.
I'm not gonna do the Mummy
Nah,
Returns.
screw that movie.
The Omen.
I don't know that.
People.
Oh,
Under
I've seen The
Stairs,
Purge.
The Purge, the first one.
Yep,
the
I've
first
seen
one-
that. The first one sucks!
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. The first one, they do not do the concept right.
Okay.
They just fundamentally misunderstand what they have.
C or D.
It's probably C tier.
It's
It's
not,
not
yeah,
bad.
I'll put it
But-
behind Ghostbusters.
But like
No,
the
it's better
Purge
than
movies,
Ghostbusters
the
2.
Purge movies that came after it were just so much more creative, in my opinion. than
yeah,
that
I can understand that. Time That Dreaded Sundown. Not a super famous movie. Kind of influential,
Okay,
kind of
stop
interesting
yapping,
real life
dude.
story. Put it below Paranorman.
Whoa, okay.
The Vivitch.
What?
Dude, what are these movies, dog?
That's going above.
What is the Vivitch?
I've seen like 5 of these,
That's
dude.
going above.
Which is just
Lighthouse.
witch in Latin, because two V's next to each other make a W sound.
Okay, bro, stop yapping.
Trick or Treat.
I hate that.
What?
He just looks gross.
I love
What?
Trick or
He
Treat.
looks
He just
chill.
looks nasty. Why
Oh,
he got a
look,
bag
I
in his
could have
hand?
a
Going right next to Ernest Scared.
Whoa!
Whoa, that's too high.
Whoa!
Okay, okay.
That's too
Just to
high.
clarify,
Tone that down.
it is not better than all of these movies. But if I had to pick one horror movie to watch on Halloween, it's that one.
But that's too much stuff in S.
I chop off both my balls for Ernest, quite frankly.
Nah.
What are you talking about? What are you yapping about?
All right, let's do just okay.
Dude, you need to find
Young
a better-
Frankenstein,
Young Frankenstein, I know I would like if I watched it,
It's
but
good.
I haven't watched it.
funny.
It's pretty
good.
funny.
It's pretty good.
It holds up.
Top of B.
It holds up to the
Wallace
test
and
of time.
Gromit. This will be our last one. Wallace and Gromit.
Trash.
Curse of the
I
Were
hate
Rabbit.
No,
Wallace
I
and Gromit
actually
so
hate
much.
You
this.
wait, what? I
I've
did
seen
not know
this and I
this.
don't like
Yeah,
it.
I've seen
I
it
think
too.
it's kind of fun.
No.
No,
Shut up,
it's
shut up.
so lame. I'm sorry.
here's-
What?
This thing
Here's what the
sucks.
whole movie is, okay? He goes,
Oh no! Oh
No,
no!
here's what it is.
Don't eat the carrots! No, my
Oh, golly.
cheese! Oh no!
oh golly, Gromit, we've got to go on our hands. We've got to get the bullets.
Oh no!
Pow,
You've eaten
pow,
all
pow.
of me cheese!
Oh,
Oh,
no. I'm allergic to cheese.
No,
oh,
he loves
golly.
cheese. That's his.
No,
that's
I
his
know.
only defining trait.
Top of
Golly
B.
cheese, Gromit.
I cannot. It's too British.
It's not as
It's
good
too
as-
British for me. It is. It's too British for me. I can't take it seriously.
It's top of D.
Parrots.
I'll give it top of D.
Okay,
I like it. You hate it. That's a compromise. All right. This is pretty good.
Wait, let's make sure we didn't miss anything here.
Dude,
Wrong Turn. No, I've never heard of that. Oh, Van Helsing. We've seen that.
Wait, what's that?
I don't know
D?
why. I don't know why we've
Wait,
seen
what's that
this.
one with the kid
D.
on the right? What's that one
Yeah,
with
D. But I don't know. She's kind of hot. Put it bottom of C tier.
Really? No, it's going
I'm
behind
just kidding.
Hocus Pocus.
Dude, we've got to put Medea on there somewhere.
Oh,
What's
the first
that?
Conjuring. We haven't ranked the first
Oh,
Conjuring.
I haven't seen.
What's the
Conjuring.
day?
Pretty boring.
Why have I seen
C.
Helsing and not The Conjuring? That's a
Wait,
good
is that the
question.
one that we watched?
It's probably that one. Yeah, it is that one.
Yeah, it has the new sound.
What's the Heffalump? We missed the Heffalump.
Oh, the Heffalump.
Actually, we have seen the Heffalump. Is that
Trash.
remember the
C for cool animation.
I don't know. It's,
I don't remember that.
It's going above Coraline.
It's Winnie the
at
Pooh.
me.
It's like I don't know. It's Winnie the Pooh.
All right, that's it.
Dude, you've got to find it better.
This was last minute. All right, I like
Alright,
this.
there we
This
go.
is pretty
It's a
good
good
though.
list.
I've seen like
I'll
post
10
this on
of
our
those,
Twitter.
dude.
Yeah, we'll put the screenshot into Twitter. Check it out.
All right.
Make sure you do.
Yeah,
take a
yeah,
screenshot.
yeah. I'll do it there. Thank you, everyone, so much.
Oh wait, we got to talk about
No, we don't.
Peace.
talk about Fortnite.
Please. God! Kill me!
You got to do it. It's got to be done.
No, we don't. Why? Every day.
Because they're doing the Halloween. Right now.
Sam never leaves me alone.
They added your favorite guy.
Do you even play Fortnite anymore?
I play it like twice a week.
Oh
now.
my god. At what point is it an
No, they're
addiction?
going back to the original map. Everyone's hyped about it.
I might check it out if they do, but
No,
I
they
also don't
will. They
give
are.
a crap.
They already said that they are.
All right, that's it for this week. We'll see you guys next week with something, a movie review, a TV
Some
show,
stuff's
conversation,
gonna happen.
news, something. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys have a happy Halloween, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.